Looking for some nerdy nostalgia, gaming geekery, or pop culture points and previews? You're now tuning in to the G Podcast, your premier pop culture and gaming talk show featuring the most dedicated, up-to-date, and opinionated team of the craziest gamers and online denizens this side of the internet. Sharing news, views, thoughts, or just plain having a great time, join us and listen in on the hype, the nostalgia, all the awesome bits, all by the wildest content creators on Facebook Live. Featuring hashtag Activo Positivo Senpai Charlie Palito, Secret Base's resident FGC Demon Ravenize, comic nerd streamer and gaming blogger news authority and super snoot Notch, everyone's favorite passionate streaming panda bear JC, the nicest rally hat wearing RPG head gamer Papi Raffy, POPMuG Podcast's mouth and one half of the GoriGori Gaming Battle Bros BJG, and the ever elegant FPS Femme Fatale Miss Bing Bing 2.0. For gamers by gamers, for the pop culture community by your prime geeks and nerds. This is G, Games, Geeks, and Good Times. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the G Podcast. This is your host, BJG, and welcome to the show that is by gamers, for gamers, geeks, and good times. Welcome, everybody, to episode 16, and we have quite the show again for you this evening. Maraming salamat sa mga sumasama sa amin ngayong gabi. Just saying hello to those people who are here on the stream. First, Stanley, Chino, Zij, everybody's here. Thank you. But we are going to be taking a step further now that we're in the April, mid-April episode. We're going to be talking about some stuff that have made an iconic presence in the community of nerds and geeks everywhere. But before we get started, let me first welcome my co-hosts, my co-panelists, the ever loving and caring G-Gang. Starting off with, of course, Papi Raffy of YRP Gaming. Welcome, dude. Welcome, Papi.
Yes, hello. Good evening na pala. Good evening, everyone. And again, this is Raffy from YRP Gaming. And yes, we're in position right now for our G Podcast episode 16. Hello, guys. Good evening.
Suave.
Suave yung intro. Up next, another person joining me is, of course, he has made his presence known, none other than the Demon Ravenize. Almond, welcome, dude. Welcome. What's up, man? Kamusta?
Wala nang intro. Kilala nyo na ako. Yun na yun.
Nagawa niya rin.
By the way, belated happy birthday, Almond. Belated happy
birthday, Almond. Soon.
Araw-araw birthday
coming
ko.
To the... Ito, soon to have a happy birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite Captain Mike. Welcome to the show, my dudes.
Hey, what is happening, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. This is your captain speaking, and welcome to Gamers, Geeks, and Good Times Podcast, episode 16.
Nang-scam ng bati yan o kailan lang eh.
Ano?
Nang-scam ng bati.
Ano yun?
Nang-scam ng bati.
Grabe.
Itong susunod, walang scam, ladies and gentlemen. Tunay na tunay, ultimo bigote, tunay. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's one and only Chino Notch is here in the podcast. Welcome, Chino. Welcome, sir. At nakamute ka.
Ulul, nakamute ka.
Yeah, take two. Again.
Take two.
Welcome, Chino.
This is your captain speaking. Welcome to the G Podcast. Wala lang intro. Kilala nyo na yun.
Maraming salamat everybody who has joined us to this evening. Welcome to episode 16. Episode 16, 4 more episodes. Episode 20 na tayo, mga kaibigan. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng sumuporta and everybody who's joined us up till today. Just giving a quick shout out bago tayo magkamustahan, mga friends. We have Zij, we have Lee Charles Delena of G in the comments. We have Aaron Penn, and then of course we have Stanley, mga boss, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, sir. Welcome. Kamusta kayo, mga kaibigan? Teka lang, parang kulang eh.
Kulang.
Parang meron tayong there's a blank space right there that I am yet to introduce. But I want to be able to greet this person since may kapitan tayo, diba? Dapat may kapitan tayo eh. Let's
step up the ranks. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to
Teka lang. Teka lang.
Yes, sir.
Ayusin ko lang yung bigote ko.
Legit nagulat ako. Buti wala akong hawak.
Kasi special tong bigote na to.
Oo nga, isa pa nga nawawala Pak.
Nawawala.
Magagawa ganun siya, nawawala.
Swabe.
Sobrang pagkaswabe pag talagang nawala no? Galing. Speaking of bigote, wala nang mas swabe pa sa bigote nito mga kaibigan. And of course, kung meron tayong kapitan, we also have ang tunay na general. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Tier 1 Shoutcaster, and Dota 2 icon, none other than ang tunay na general, Jazz, General Tuna, Comoda!
Oh, yes.
Yun yung intro.
Alright.
Welcome, General. Magandang gabi sa iyo. Welcome, batiin po natin ang aming mga fans.
And shoutout sa lahat na nanonood dyan. And to all you guys, thank you so much. And I'm honored to be here.
General, may tanong lang ako.
Okay.
Naka-filter ka ba ngayon? Kasi parang yung bigote mo, mukhang peke. Hindi ba yung bigote ko?
Tigas talaga.
Sabi naman to. Hindi.
Suwabe.
Bunutin mo.
Tunay yan.
Tunay yan.
Buti na lang, kasi ayoko sa mga taong walang bigote. Hindi ko gusto mga to.
Yun.
Ayos
Alam niyo na mga kaibigan, umpisa pa lang pasabog na, ladies and gentlemen. This is the G Podcast. Kamusta muna tayo? Well, let's get started with General. How are you, sir? How's it going? What's keeping you busy? And thank you for joining us this evening. Maraming salamat. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Jen. I think I'm doing well naman din dito sa Jensan. Hopefully, hindi dumami yung cases dito kasi like hindi natakot sa COVID yung mga tao dito sa amin eh. And same old shoutcasting for Dota 2 sa community cast namin kay Coach BYB. And then nagsa-sideline din ako as a social media manager for the Nationals, no.
Nice.
Anything that keeps me going, anything that makes me survive this pandemic. And then at the same time, busy rin kasi preparing for our wedding this coming June.
Yan! Congratulations! Congratulations, General Jazz! Dahil alam mo, diba, you have been currently engaged lang, no? Current lang?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Sinusubaybayan ko yung love story nyo eh. Kasi nakikita ko sa post mo. Nakikita ko sa post mo eh.
Napatunayan na ni General na ang digmaan ay hindi isang matibay na kirida. Napanood ko yun. Napanood ko yun. Nabitag si General. Okay, kamustahin naman natin ang kasama nating mga panelists. Just starting off with Raffy na swabe ang audio and connection. Very good. Kamusta pare?
Eto, well, masaya recently kanina lang na-receive ko nga lang yung message sa makakapasok na ulit ako. I got a new job actually. So I'll start by Friday. I'll start by Friday. On-site work pa din. So at least kahit paano na ilang araw ako hindi nakapasok after I left the company. So I was able to look for one. So yun. Everything went well naman after those 2 weeks na struggles ko. Yun lang yun. Yun yung masaya sa akin.
Yan. There's always a silver lining. Always a light at the end of the tunnel. And the longer the tunnel, the better. I like that. Very good. Next, Captain Mike. What's happening, dude?
I am doing fantastic, no. I hope everyone is okay, no. Kahit alam nating nag-i-extend na naman tong pandemic, I have this feeling na it's gonna be hard, pero I'm sure that everyone will stay with each other pa rin. Currently running a tournament, by the way, this coming weekend, no? But we'll discuss that later towards the end of the show.
Yan. Good. Notch, how's it going? How's everything for you? Gino, medyo busy si paring Notch the past week eh.
Sobrang busy kahit hanggang bukas. Daming trabaho eh. But okay naman, mukhang nakaka-relax na kahit paano. You know, inaabangan ko talaga yung Wednesdays natin eh. Kasi somehow, pag nagpa-podcast, talaga nakakatanggal din ng stress somehow, no? So, ayun. Tapos, papili. Actually, naayos ko yung bigote ko kasi hindi ko alam kung anong style ang gusto ko eh. So, pinili ko ba
Isang lapat nga, pare. Isang lapat na gano'n.
Isang lapat.
Diba, smooth? Hindi nawawala yan. Pag ginano niya.
Nag-transfer lang.
Lumalapat lang talaga.
Hindi nyo lang nakikita kasi talagang naka-cover. Ngayon, wala na.
Portable.
Meron. Cover, meron. Diba ganun yun?
Portable yung bigote.
Oo. Minsan kasi ayoko ng bigote. Nakakangat sa bukay. Alam ni Jazz yan. Alam ni General yan. Nakakangat eh. So, tinatagal ko minsan.
Wait lang. Sabi mo, nakakangati sa mukha mo yung bigote. Bakit may humahalik ba sa yung may bigote?
Hindi. Dati, yung ex ko.
bigote mo.
May ex ako may bigote.
Wow. Hindi naman Romy pangalan nun,
Pag ginahalikan niya, nalilipat sa babae yung bigote. Ganun kaswabe ka kay Chi.
Sabi.
Welcome. I'm happy that this little podcast of ours is giving some people, a little reprieve. I know that it's kind of difficult right now, especially sabi nga ni General kanina, think people are not, hindi na alintana yung COVID. But amidst this time of difficulty, we're here to give you a little bit of happiness. Just stick around for the next 2-3 hours. We'll get that happiness kicking in real quick. Ravenize, ikaw, kamusta ka?
Okay lang.
Napakalapit mo kasi sa amin eh.
Hindi, tawag dito. Binuksan ko yung aircon ngayon lang, di ba? Sabi ko, ang init ngayon, sobrang lamig. Parang gusto ko patayin.
Aray, ang yaman mo naman, ang rich mo naman, friend, may aircon ka.
Hindi wala lang yan, mabulok yan, men.
Yeah, because you have to talk about your bullock aircon on stream. Yeah. You have to mention the aircon.
Yeah, it's aircon pero bulok.
Yeah.
Hindi, okay lang ako. Okay lang.
Yung aircon,
Pareho kami ng nilalaro ni Jazz actually lately. Genshin Impact, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts, yes.
Ay, napanood ko yung Kingdom Hearts na General nun.
Nakakuha ko lang actually ng Kingdom Hearts na collection.
Uy, talaga?
Nice.
Tirahin na yan. Speaking of mga titirahin natin ngayong gabi. Ang pangit. Speaking of mga titirahin natin ngayong gabi, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and as it is exemplified by our guest this evening, we're going to be tackling some iconic roles that has stuck to us during the time that we are enjoying our pop culture stuff, whether it's comic books, movies, particularly roles of people that has become close to home and close to our hearts. But before we get there, we're going to be talking about, of course, as always, we're going to be taking a look at the week's news. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, our rated news of the week for this evening.
Rated news.
Yan maganda rito. Auto soundtrack tayo dito. Gato kami dito, General. I mean, I don't know if the Kapitan has oriented you in the situation, pero kami dito, ang protocol namin, panat.
Auto track.
Yung palang ang kaya ng budget namin ngayon, tunog tao pa lang. Susunod, kuha na kami ng banda.
Mamaya, gagato kami. Gaganong-ganon kami mamaya. Tunog tao. But ladies and gentlemen, for the first news of the evening, Sony is reportedly remaking The Last of Us for PS5 as it chases big hits. Yes, as reported by The Verge and TheVerge.com, the article says Sony is reportedly working on another remake of Naughty Dog's The Last of Us, first released in 2013 for the PlayStation 3, followed by a PlayStation 4 remaster in 2014. The latest version of the game is intended for the PlayStation 5 and would reportedly feature the gameplay and graphical improvements introduced in 2020's The Last of Us Part 2, as reported by Bloomberg. Bloomberg reports the remake status is part of a broader reorganization at Sony's first-party developer studios, which are struggling with the conflicting goals of the company's desire for larger, blockbuster-scale projects from its major studios and smaller, less lucrative passion projects from its smaller stream. The Last of Us is one such project, and the remake was originally started by Sony's Visual Arts Service Group, an internal team that largely provides support for art, animation, and development to Sony's other bigger projects like Spider-Man or Uncharted games. For more details on the news, ladies and gentlemen, please head on over to theverge.com/2021 and look for the article that reads, Sony is reporting remaking The Last of Us for PS5. That is your first rated G news for the week. Up next in the news list,
Ten.
Elon Musk. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have been seeing this video, has been circulating all over the internet, and it says here that Elon Musk's Neuralink shows monkey with brain chip playing video game by thinking. A very good wish from us back in the early 90s. As reported by Reuters.com, billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk's brain chip startup released footage on Friday appearing to show a monkey playing a simple video game of Pong after getting implants of the new technology. The 3-minute video that you are watching now, ladies and gentlemen, by Neuralink here shows Pager, a male macaque with chips embedded on each side of his brain, playing Mind Pong. Although he was trained to move a joystick, it is now unplugged. He controls the paddle simply by thinking about moving his hand up or down. As was tweeted by Musk, first, Neuralink product will enable someone with paralysis to use a smartphone with their mind faster than someone using thumbs. There, he tweeted on Thursday. Later versions will be able to shunt signals from Neuralinks in brain to Neuralinks in body motor sensory neuron clusters. Very high science, ladies and gentlemen. Thus enabling, for example, paraplegics to walk again. The device is implanted, flush with skull, and charges wirelessly so you can look and feel totally normal. For more information about this news, head on over to Reuters.com/article/US Tech Neuralink Monkey.
BJ, dagdagan ko lang yung news niya na kasi may breaking news lang, kaya kakalabas lang rin lang.
Yes,
mukhang yung monkey na yan, siya yung unang-unang nakapag-speedrun ng Pong. Nasa Twitch na yun. Nasa Twitch. Pinakita sa Twitch. Nag-speedrun siya ng Pong.
Speedrun ng Pong.
Speedrun ng Pong. Ang galing. You should research on that.
Very educational ka talaga, tol.
Maraming salamat, sir.
Ano ba, guys, dito sa G, it's purely educational. All facts. Lahat dito, facts lang.
General, yung kapatid mo, nagwawala, walang maitinta. Si Juan Luna. Si Juan Tuna ito. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Notch, for that very informative. Yan, ganyan kami sa G. Informative entry into this. And for our third news, before we share our thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by BBC News.
Habang hinahanapan ni BJ yung mga basa lang tayo ng comments saglit. Ayun, sabi dito si G, si Chino daw yung test subject, kasama daw siya doon.
ang masasabi ko lang dyan yung mod na yan, siguraduhin mong mag-t-shirt ka kasi baka lamigin ka na naman, baka sipunin ka. Mahina ang baga, ha? Konting health conscious lang ang konti, ha? Konting t-shirt lang. Kahit magsando man lang.
Baka nakahubad na naman yung mod, baka sipunin.
Yan na. Napagalitan na. Sorry, ito na po. Ito, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ito yung pangatlo. This is the real thing. From Kotaku.com, smuggled NVIDIA cards found after high-speed boat chase. Very interesting news. Ladies and gentlemen, baka kaya hindi ko nakita kasi tumakbo na naman. Only after a week, a Chinese bust involving cheat makers in luxury cars. Authorities have seized hundreds of smuggled NVIDIA cards after a speedboat chase in the waters near Hong Kong International Airport. As Tom's Hardware have translated from Chinese outlet TVB News, over the weekend, police saw a fishing boat anchored suspiciously close to the airport at 2 a.m. and upon investigating, found men moving cargo from the fishing boat onto a nearby speedboat. As the police approached, the shady men hopped on the speedboat and sped away towards mainland waters, with the cops pursuing in a high-speed boat chase. The smugglers managed to escape, but authorities then doubled back and searched the fishing boat, where they found shark fins, smartphones, and up to 300 unidentified graphics cards. For more details on this news, please head on over to Kotaku.com/smuggled NVIDIA cards found after high-speed boat chase. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our very seamless, walang ka-error narrated G News for the evening. Yan again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this a little bit, and I want to get your thoughts, starting off with The Last of Us remake. Medyo matunog to ngayon in the gaming community, but I want to give the General a shot first. General, what is your... Wow, ang ganda ng kwarto mo. Nagulat
Gusto ko yung kwarto. Wala.
Ito kung gaano
Ang ganda.
ito sing original to, sing legit to ng bigote ni boss. ng kapatid ko dito. Ayan, walang halong scam yan.
Mukhang totoo. Actually, pakikuha naman yung CPU mo dyan. Pakikita mo lang sa akin.
Abot mo lang ng konti.
Abot mo lang.
Abot ko konti yung CPU. Ayan o, di ba?
Ang ganda.
Ang ganda ng CPU.
Ano lang yan? Nag-reporting lang ako ng news, naglipat bahay ka, General. General, what is your thought?
Right.
What are your thoughts about The Last of Us remake?
Last of Us remake. I guess I've been a very big fan of the franchise, no. Di ko pa nalalaro yung 2, pero I've played the first one multiple times. I've cried multiple times as well. So feeling ko gusto ko lang malaman kung ano yung itatawag mo sa remaster ng remaster. Parang gano'n. Kasi they made it for the PS3, remastered it on the PS4, and then di ko alam kung anong gatawag mo sa PS5. Is it like the remastered remaster?
Remastered remake. The remastered remake.
Remastered X2 Championship Edition.
Remastered Asian.
Remastered Asian.
Ngayon nyo lang narinig yan. Okay. But what about the rest? Let's follow up with Notch, what are your thoughts? Nag-react yung unang reaction na kanina. What? So what are your thoughts of this?
Sobrang, it's crazy to think na ang isang laro that is less than 10 years old ay magkakaroon ng remake or iniisipan magkaroon ng remake. So it's a wonder na yung mga fans ng Naughty Dog, they're confused now kung ano yung magiging direction ng Naughty Dog and Sony because of this. Kasi medyo marami na rin silang decisions na hindi naging maganda, diba? So, pero again, it's still Naughty Dog. Minahal natin na Naughty Dog despite all these decisions. So wala tayong magagawa kundi sumunod sa yapak nila. At kung gagawa nga sila na remake for na PS5, good luck na sa mga bibili nun. Ano kaya lang bago nun? Siguro ang bago nun, pwede nga palitan yung skin ni Ellie.
Well,
Nako!
Pwede.
Gusto mo makita dyan.
Or, better yet, ba't di na lang sila gumawa ng Last of Us collection for the PS5? I think that would be best, no? I think that would be best.
Yeah,
right. Before we move on to the next person who's going to be talking, I just want to read the comments given by Aaron Pen. Hello, Aaron. What's up, man? The last remaster of Us. Oh, maganda rin.
The last remaster of Us. Ayun, pwede.
Bakit hindi? Sabi, which responded to by Lee Charles Delena, the last cash grab of Us, which is an interesting point that I would like to point out later. Sabi ni Joshua. Joshua's here. Hey, well, what's up, man? What they'll do is just revamp or retcon the story since it already realism graphics. The only thing they can do is add the accessibility options, and that's it. Probably it's just a little bit of a limitation right there. But what about you, Papi Raffy? You are a big fan of the series. I remember you strongly approved it winning early this year, the award.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about the remaster on PlayStation 5?
Bakit? Yun yung ko. Bakit? Why? Bakit kailangan pa nila? Just me, yung PS4 version, di ba? Ang sabi naman nila, yung PS4 version, pwede naman nilang malaro do sa PS5, if I remember that correctly. So, pwede naman nilang laruin. Bakit pa nila kailangan i-remake? Yun yung tanong ko doon.
True.
O, di ba? Saka, siguro, may idea nga ako. Sabi nga din sa comments kanina na nabasa ko, baka daw to promote the yung ipapalabas on screen o sa Netflix ba 'yon? Yung parang niya?
Yung movie.
Yung yung parang version nila sa Netflix or ano. So baka ganun siguro yung iniisip nila. Kaya magkakaroon sila ng remake. Pero parang unnecessary na to make a remake of a remake na naman. 'Di ba? Parang
Right.
Sana sa ibang na lang, either gawa sila ng bagong IP under Naughty Dog Kung kailangan pa nilang ituloy yung go for it. Pero remake is actually useless na for me. Hindi na siya masaya. Kasi nag-remake ka na nga before, mag-remake ka pa uli, wala na. Parang,
Remember, nag-remaster sila recently lang sa PS4.
Right. So it says here that the news says it's going to be remaking it. So is it a remake or is it a remaster? It's a remake, right?
Yeah,
it's a remake of the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So okay. Before I give my thoughts, Captain.
Ako kasi I have not played the game nor owned the game, no. So kung bibili ako ngayon for the PS5, kung may PS5 na, I would definitely get it kasi marami features yan, lalo na yung mga visuals, no. Pero kung ang pinag-uusapan natin is dati na kung sa PS3 pa lang binili ko na, tapos PS4 na naman, di ba? Parang totoo yung sinabi dun sa chat, no, na it's just a cash grab na lang more than anything. Kung hindi naman masyadong magbe-benefit yung mga players ngayon, or kung hindi man nagbe-benefit yung mga gamers dun sa bagong release, I say na they'd stick na lang to the kung wala naman masyadong babaguhin.
correct.
Right.
Diba?
Right. Mond, ikaw, you have some choice thoughts about the PS5 in our last few podcasts. What do you think about this, man?
First of all, kailangan tanungin mo yung sarili mo dito. Do I want it or do I need it? Diba? It's a choice between
Self-reflection. Ang galing na Ravenize.
So, do I need it or do I want it? Yun yung una mong itatanong sa sarili mo. Kasi going back, there's a rumor na Resident Evil 4 is being remake, 'di ba? Kasi they did 2 and 3, they did a remake of that. So they're gonna do 4 as well. And ang reaction ng mga fans for that was, ba't kailangan pang i-remake ang Resident Evil 4 kasi maganda na siya, blah blah blah. So doon tatanungin mo yung sarili mo, do I want it? Sa akin, sa Resident Evil 4, yes, I want it. Do I need it? No, I don't need it sa Resident Evil 4, diba? So, with this one, sa Last of Us, do I want the remake? No. Do I need the remake? No as well. So, wala. No, pareho.
So you won't get the remake given the choice. You won't get this given the chance. Let's say you guys have a PS5. Let's say you guys have money is again not an issue. Parang yung Mario lang yan nung nakaraan eh. If you guys remember. Would you get the remake?
No.
Almond says no.
No.
Notch. Raffy says no. Notch, will you get the remake? No. Wala pang sumuporta sa
Kung may
Naughty Dog.
magpapahiram siguro, lalaroin ko. Pero I won't personally buy it. Parang ganun.
Ang dadagdag lang talaga nila doon is yung pimple sa Ellie. Lalagyan nila ng mga pimples.
Lalagyan nila ng freck. Lalagyan nila ng
Nakapalan yung buhok ni Joel.
And then even, I think para sa akin, people won't buy it even because of nostalgia. Kasi parang, it's not that old to be nostalgic. Parang ganun.
That's true.
True.
Na-mention ni Ravenize yung RE4 sa pagkakaalam ko ang Resident Evil 4 hindi pa nagkakaroon ng remaster to.
Yeah.
There is a lot of remaster.
Never pa. Meron
There
ba?
is a lot. Yeah, the HD editions.
HD
edition.
Yung HD edition. Okay. Hindi mali ako.
Milo. Pero I also want to agree with what the General said. I mean, there's a certain amount of time for it to be called nostalgic. Recently lang yan especially for an old-timey gamer like myself. Anything that's above the PS3 and above, I still consider it new. For me, at least for me. And having multiple iterations of it across multiple platforms of essentially the same thing is definitely something that I might question right now. But anyway, that's our thoughts. So this is a confusing part of news. Let's go on to something that's more enjoyable. You see that monkey? That monkey's playing.
Yung speedrunner.
He's playing Pong. Speedrunner ng Pong. Dude, I swear to God, I've always thought about having this. It's like I remember, shout out to Zaid Al Shahid, who is the co-creator and lead artist for the game Goodnight Bullet Hell, he likened this news of the Neuralink news to the movie Johnny Mnemonic. If you guys remember Johnny Mnemonic back in the early 90s, yung saving ng memory sa utak na, no? And I guess this is a very interesting point of news. But what can you say about this? You know, I mean, this is a high level piece of tech, and it's being used for Pong. How do you react to watching this monkey playing Pong? Speed running Pong, right? Let's start off now kay Kapitan. Sige, Kapitan, what are your feedback to the Pong monkey?
Ang purpose ng paglagay nandun sa utak niya, 'di ba, is to transmit data, no? To do whatever he wants to do sa ano na yun. So my number one question is, sino ang makikinabang ng data na yun na na-generate from the neural network, 'di ba? I mean, that's being transmitted na on a physical device.
Right.
So darating tayo dun sa point na baka mamaya that information can be obtained by anyone. So for me, my take is obviously a security thing. Kasi baka mamaya, pagpalagay lang natin, nilagay natin dun sa utak ni Chino, and kung ano man yung knowledge na meron siya about the grabe ka, kumakatawa kayo.
Excuse me? Hello, yes. I was called.
If the neural chip was installed in Chino, by the way, with his knowledge on ano na yun, yung mga motor functions lang ba ang masisave o pati yung mga memories niya din doon ba masisave, diba?
You know, I just have to say
PS4 doon masisave.
Browsing history.
I just have to that's exactly what I'm going to say.
Lahat masisave yun.
What I'm afraid of is not how Chino is going to get and use the data. It's what the information he might leak to the public. That is my problem or my scare. Pero, you know, going into the conversation, Notch, since ikaw ang ginawang example nito ni Captain Mike, the purpose of the Neuralink is to basically help people who lack the physical ability to and motor skills to move and walk, is to control everything via their mind. You know, ito for me, it has a very MODOK kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ikaw, anong take mo dito?
Scientifically naman, yung nerves mo, everything, yung motor functions naman, lahat naman yan control ng utak talaga through neurons, diba? So basically, they're trying to simulate that feeling. I think yung mga makikinabang talaga dito is yung mga, for example, yung mga war veterans na, you know, nakauwi but was not able to get home complete. Siyempre, if yung magaganda diyan is if they have the device installed, tapos meron sila yung mga prosthetics na mala cybernetic ang dating.
Cyberpunk 2077. Hello.
It'll just be an old feeling for them. New but somewhat old feeling. So I think yun talaga yung makikinabang diyan. Pero kung ako talaga, ipapasok ko yan sa utak ni Senpai Lee Charles Delena.
Yeah.
Pagsusuotin ko ng t-shirt yan everyday. Mahirap magkasakit ngayon.
Pag nagtanggal ng t-shirt, pneumonia alert.
Every time lumalabas yung utong niya,
Saan magre-respond yun?
Sa kamay ni shield.
Ang motor functions non matic ta-transmit kay Miss Shield tapos biglang sasapakin si
mag-t-shirt ka na!
habang nagti-TikTok. Yan
habang nagti-TikTok.
Let me modify the question to you, General. Knowing that we all agree that this can benefit a lot of people, particularly the clothing of some of our G members, but what issues do you see here? What kind of I could also agree with Kapitan, it's about the security, but if you were to be given the chance to think about exploits, what could this mean when it comes to cybersecurity?
I mean, cybersecurity, anything techie, anything that deals with technology, may mga loophole, di ba? Pwedeng ma-hack, and at the same time, pwedeng pagkakakitaan ng ibang tao, di ba? And alam naman natin, we are being monitored siguro in some way. Diba? Yung mga actions natin online, namomonitor, nasi-save somewhere. Kaya ka
Correct.
napa-ahem browsing history kanina kasi malay natin, di ba? Like anything we think about, kasi nga, di ba, parang anything, parang iisipin mo lang, mag-auto-type siya dun sa cellphone or kung hindi cellphone, sa any device out there. So parang yung iniisip ba natin nasa nare-record din? Or like, alam mo yun, it's just, I'm really skeptical na di man siya, it's good para dun sa mga taong, yun nga, walang motor functions. Pero parang pwede rin silang gamitin as, baka pwedeng i-weaponize man yung
Yan, yung weaponization naman gusto ko.
To dovetail din sa sinasabi ni General. If there's one thing that we've learned sa pagbabasa ng comics, it is that everything cybernetics or technique or equipment machine-wise, lahat yan nako-control and hackable.
Yes.
Diba?
Before we continue, I just want to acknowledge the fact that we have just gotten 200 stars from Miss Bing Bing. Thank you very much, Miss Bing. 200 stars.
And
Thank you.
gusto ko lang din magsabi, maraming salamat, Boss Ben, for joining us. Maraming salamat, Boss Ben from Lanida Games. Maraming salamat. Ang sabi niya, yung bang bigote ni Notch, filter ba yun? Ang perfecto ng hugis kasi. Ben, walang halong kasinungalingan dito. All facts lang dito sa G. Alam mo yan. Diba? Parang bayani yan legit.
Oo, tama. Welcome po, Sir Ben Banta. Ben Banta is the head of the Lanida Games and Lanida Studios. Welcome po, welcome. Thank you.
DJ, bago tayo magtuloy, shout out din tayo kay Erica Sedilla. Nag-send siya kanina ng 10 stars. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you for the 10 stars.
Hinihintay ko yung Lee Charles Dalena mag-send ng stars.
Oo, yan. 5,000 yan. Isang bagsa pa lang yan.
Generous yun.
Lee Charles Dalena has sent one Funko Pop each panelist. Yun ang
Yan.
gusto ko doon.
Walang reimbursement Walang
donasyon yan. Let's just continue reading some of the statements here. Sabi ni Joshua, I wouldn't say they have that tech yet considering it just detects brain activity. Remember, they have found a way to hack other people's pacemakers. Oo, totoo. There was a news that people were getting into the pacemakers of people. Tapos i-hack yun. Tapos patugtugin ka ng rig. Oo, yung rig. Patugtugin ka ng music.
Ako, Papi BJ,
ano nga yun? I forgot the game, man. Ano nga? What's that hacking game? Man. Watch Dogs. Parang Watch Dogs tayo. You're gonna watch your way into your implants. Like, alam ko na yung back details nitong taong to. Hell yeah. Parang naman ganun.
Surprisingly. Sorry, Raffy, you were gonna say something.
Ako, natatakot kasi ako. Siyempre, di maglalagay ka ng microchip. Ang question dyan is, what if mag-overload yung data na nasa microchip? What will happen to the person? Di ba? Hindi natin alam. Di ba? Pag sasabog yun, di ba? Either bang, syempre, sasabog ba siya dun sa or magkakaroon ba ng leakage yung microchip na yun? Di ba?
Right. It is definitely a health risk.
A health risk, yes. Pero kung ako iniisip ko kanina is parang, papunta na ba tayo sa mundo ng ng virtual RPG na alam mo yun, like if you are a fan of Sword Art Online, mga ganon, yung mga na virtual RPG. Yes. So punta na tayo doon kung gagamitin nila sa gaming yan.
Basta ako si Kirito.
Pero for now parang si Kirito daw si
Guys, nahack si Raffy. Nahack yung mga ni Raffy. Nagsisimula na, guys. Nahack. Naging robot.
Nila tayo.
Nagsimula na.
Matindi po.
So sure.
Ayan, nahack si Raffy.
Nagsimula na.
Mod ikaw. I mean, I know there was a news that we covered that MiHoYo was going to try the neural senso thing, right? Yung parang you want to game with your mind. What are your thoughts on it, my dudes? Do you want it? I mean, would you personally want it in your body? Do you want it in your body?
Do you want it? in your body, Almond.
Because I could give it to you.
I can implant it to you.
Ang
You
laswanyo.
want me to implant something on your mind?
Yun din sa akin
Kasi sino gumagano.
to be honest with you, nung nakita ko tong balita na to, naalala ko nga yung sa Mihoyo nung binalita nila yung plano nila, di ba? Yung sa, oo, di ba? Pero dito sa balita na to, di ko alam talaga kung alin yung news, yung unggoy na naglalaro o yung technology advancement sa ano.
Speedrun, pare.
Oo,
Speedrun.
speedrun. Hindi, pero para sa akin, I think, sige lang, go lang. Tingnan namin yung progress throughout the years kung pwede nga ba talaga ito. Pero malaking bagay ito para sa ano, sa technology, 'di ba?
Yes, especially kung gagamitin talaga siya for medical use, para sa mga differently abled nating mga kaibigan, tsaka sa mga war veterans na alam yun, nagkaroon ng
Oo.
trauma or nawala ng mga ano.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Malay nyo, this can be also a start of something for those na yung mga paraplegics dyan, di ba?
Start of something
Something
new.
new. When I was with you.
Alam niyo yung kanta.
Kala mo di mo ako mayroon ako, bro. Wala nang intro. Kilala mo na ako.
I would have to agree though. I would have to agree because it can help not only in the locomotor skills but of the speed of which we do things. Really, there's only one thing that can beat the speed of light, and that is the speed of thought. And if you have the complete control of your thought, ibang klase yan.
Napakalalim nun.
Sa akin, imagine ko, someone with an implant actually playing ML. Kasi diba, like,
Mabilis ang no? Mabilis ang reflexes nun.
mabilis reflexes nun. Like, magpapanya ako nun, gaganon ka lang. Nasa MPL ka, gumaganon ka lang.
Paano mo i-shoutcast? General sample nga. Shoutcastan mo nga kami nung naglalaro ng ML pero may implant sa ulo.
Naka-neural link.
Paano mo i-shoutcast yun, pare? Sige nga. Isa lang.
Siguro, first time ko nag-shoutcast nung gano'n na naka-implant, siguro manghang-mangha na lang talaga siguro. Parang, grabe naman yun, kaya palang gawin nun. Parang
Pamigit lang!
Yung ano.
Pamigit lang, nag-SS na!
Isang kindat SS.
At isipin
Parang
mo
bilis matapos nung game.
kung si Ravenize may neural link, gaano kabilis ang Rashid niya ngayon?
Oo, pare. Daigo who? Gaganon niya, pare. Di alam mo, ang Neuralink when it comes to gaming, mas gagaling ka pag laro ka ng RTS, pare. Kasi you're always gonna be limited with how fast your fingers and...
Bagay na bagay yan dun.
Try mo mag-horror, tapos naka-neural link ka. Kung hindi sumabog yung neural link sa utak.
Mag-Neuralink ka, tapos si Mr. X siya kasi Nemesis. Uy!
Nagkatotoo yung Blair Witch, no? Mga iuhog-uhog, nakita mo yung camera. Streamer ka, tapos gano'n yung nakikita sa'yo dahil ano na yung utak mo.
Si Boss Calvin nagbigay ng 100 stars, oh.
Oy! Yun, naka-Neuralink po kami kay Boss Cesar Calvin. Thank you for the 100 stars, sir. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Yan ang Neuralink.
Secret base,
Naka-link
baby.
tayo. Yeah. Represent. Boss, Boss Calvin, pag-ipunan nyo na daw po yung implant ni Ravenize. Ano yan? Capcom Proton
Lahat
yan.
ng tournaments, Boss Calvin. Tapos,
question.
basta Neuralink Ravenize Edition. Puro combo yun.
Para naging AI ka na kung ganun. Diba?
Bakit parang hindi combo yung ginagawa mo? Parang aneurysm.
Ini-imagine ko si Almond pag naglalaro, di ba? Pag naglalaro, tahimik lang. Pero pag naka-Neuralink,
Oo, di ba? Di ba, pag naglalaro tayo, minsan napapatalon ka sa controller pag excited ka, no? Pag si Ravenize nagulat, parang
parang pag nagmamario ka, di ba? Pag gumaganon ka, gaganon ka rin.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We have one more news to talk about. At ito, walang Neuralink talagang makati sa utak to. The Chinese boat that had hundreds, we're not talking about tens, we're not talking about 20s or 50s, hundreds of reportedly stolen video cards. Ito yung problema kasi. I hate this of all the news because I know what it's like to look for a video card recently, and I have a problem. I've had a problem with it. There were hundreds of these things found on a speedboat that's smuggled. 300, not one, not two, but 300 unidentified pa. Ay, nako. I mean, this is why we can't have nice things in life, you know. I mean, General, I know you are surrounded by tech right now. As you can see,
Yes, as
it's
you can see.
believable.
Yeah,
Diba?
legit tech. Yes.
Anong dapat gawin dito, General? Ano pong dapat gawin dito sa mga lukulukong ito?
I mean,
Mga loko-loko!
scalping is one thing. Scalping is like, binibili mo naman din siya, hindi mo naman ninanakaw yun eh. But stolen or like smuggling something, that's way crossing the line eh. Of like, mo yun, human decency. Na parang, grabe naman kayo para alam mo yun na, nanakawin nyo pa, diba? Isa-smuggle nyo pa. Para saan? Diba? For profit? For personal consumption? Parang ganun.
Right.
Parang hindi siya katanggap-tanggap, di ba?
And who wants to agree with me, and feel free to, go against what I'm trying to say here, but I'm willing to bet that this has something to do with crypto mining.
I would agree.
Cryptocurrency mining.
Oh, yeah.
Diba? Right, Cap? I mean, well, this is cryptocurrency mining.
Kasi the reason I said I agree with BJ is because yesterday's news in relation to cryptocurrency, ang value ng Bitcoin ngayon is umabot na ng 63,000 US.
Arte mo.
So imagine mo if those cards were taken in the hands of miners, tapos ganun naging presyo nung currency mo. Imagine pag kinonvert mo kagad yun, di ba?
Diba? And these are illegally obtained. This is a clear news article on theft. And Diyos ko po, I swear, itong masarap na Neuralink mo, tapos patugtugan mo ng Rick Astley buong magdamag.
Kasi buhay niya, papatugtugan mo ng ganun.
Oo, buong buhay niya, Rick Astley, mga
Never
ganun.
gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Who let the dogs out, ganun. Tapos yung sound ng kuko sa blackboard, yun ang dapat ginagawa dyan naka-Neuralink.
Hindi mo na kailangan kulong yun. Diretsong Neuralink na lang ito na lang. Bibigay namin si parusa na yan.
Parusa na yan.
Diba?
By the way, speaking of Neuralink, Mon, mukhang sponsoran ka nga ni Boss Calvin kasi nai-imagine niya rin daw na naka-Neuralink ka tapos nag-rashid ka.
Boss,
Abangan mo
You're
na lang,
welcome.
Pero
The Nationals-
pero yung magsa-surgery sa'yo si BJ daw. Okay lang ba?
Okay lang yan, Brad. Okay yan.
Boss,
Yes.
Boss Calvin,
Steady.
ito, tanda mo, Boss Calvin, sa araw na to, The Nationals, Evo, lahat yan ipapanalo natin sa secret base. Tanda mo, pag may
Yun.
Neuralink
Tama yan, tama yan.
Abangan ko yan.
Ganun yan.
Pakinggan.
Magiging 5-time.
Tapos yung laro, Pac-Man 99.
Yan.
5-time Pac-Man 99 champion, Ravenize. Tinigil na po na yung Street Fighter niya. Kako, ninanakaw lang naman ang video card ngayon eh. Bakit pa ako si Street Fighter? Pac-Man na lang.
Pac-Man na lang.
Tama. Sabi ni Joshua, basa naman tayo ng contest, wag daw Rick Astley, Baby Shark daw yung patugtugin sa Neuralink. Mga loko-loko.
Oy, sabi nga ni Trickster, masaya daw ang Pac-Man 99 and I do have to agree guys, kung di nyo pa nalalaro, masaya yun. Isipin mo naka-Neuralink ka pero naka-Pac-Man 99 ka. Boom.
Bilis
Easy.
Na. Bilis na. Really. Just going back into this whole thing, I think this is one of the reasons why we have a major shortage, obviously. But if you remember, and I think this was mentioned by Lee Charles Darena, there was a report earlier in the year that about 300 plus GPUs from MSI were stolen from the warehouse. It just mysteriously disappeared, right? And now you find it on a Chinese boat, right? We don't want to be racist, obviously. We're not generalizing this, but there seems to be a trend when it comes to crypto mining and these things happening within that area. So I leave it to you guys. This is a very sensitive topic to talk about. But what I do say in behalf of the gaming community, and I think the guys would agree with me, that we condemn this sort of thing. And yes, we will play Baby Shark 24/7 in your
Ako
brain.
may kanta ako sa kanila. May kanta ako sa kanila.
Ano yun?
At you very, very much. Ulit lang.
Ganun lang, no? Ganun lang pa, anuhin mo.
Ulit-ulit.
Pero yun. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. These are the top 3 news that we found that happened this week. We hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to be talking about more of these stuff in our future posts. Just stick around and you'll find out. But moving on to something that is related to what we talked about. We've talked about things that are very prominent. You know, we talked about Neuralink, which is something that's one of its kind. We talked about an iconic game, which is the Last of Us, and of course itong one of a kind crime na to against gaming, which is the video cards. These are such iconic times. We're living in an iconic period of time right now, where we have along with us right now is a very, very well-known person, is si General, right? Who's made, and we'll get to your history and your rise through the ranks kumbaga later. Talking about such important stuff that happened in our lives, we can't always have good things happening to us for us to ensure success. In fact, to ensure a successful run in life, you have to endure and be tempered and face your own demons. And our story, the story that's coming up right now is, come over, join us. We're going to be talking about a very interesting story about Iron Man in our segment called Stay a while and listen.
Video okay pala.
Are you having fun? Walang lyrics. Are you having fun?
Tapos yung porno yung nasa background.
Yung mga babae na
Yung sumasayaw.
Tarat-tarat yung tunog pero baka nakatupis, no? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment where we talk about our favorite storylines that we would like to share with you, and what else is better suited for tonight's iconic discussion other than the iconic storyline of Iron Man himself. A lot of people here love Iron Man, especially a certain captain who wouldn't accept Magneto is better. Talagang hanggang gabi yun ang sinasabi niya. I'm an Iron Man fan. Like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
But Iron Man...
So, nag-iron siya, gano'n. Iron Man.
Right. Right.
Iron
Hello.
Man.
But Iron Man did go through a very, very tumultuous period in his life, if you guys don't know, in a story called Demon in a Bottle. It's a very well-known storyline that came out. Believe it or not, this is a 1979 issue of the comic. And this started with Invincible Iron Man #1, where Iron Man, Tony Stark, tackled his inner demons when he fell into the dregs of alcoholism. Yan, mga manginginom dyan, mga kapatid. Parang sinasabi, kasi Iron Man, mag-iinom ako lalo para maging Iron Man. Hindi ganon. But I think, just to kick off the discussion, this is a very important storyline because this is how Marvel Comics makes itself relevant to its readers. It always attacks and addresses real world situations and attaches it to iconic characters that they have. This one in particular being Iron Man in this series. And I wanna get everybody's thoughts. Have you guys read this comic, this series already, or at least have heard about the story? Iron Man in 1979 becoming an alcoholic so bad that he almost ended his life here. Have you heard about this? But let's talk to our resident comic nerd, Notch. Notch, can you tell us your thoughts about this title, please?
Yeah, actually tama kasi sinabi mo eh. This is actually Marvel's way of putting realism in their stories, and aside from of course yung patriotism na nakikita natin kay Captain America, Iron Man had his downfalls, being an alcoholic, no, over the years. Actually yung Demon in the Bottle story, it showed his alcoholism at hindi siya nakafocus doon. It's really more on the effects on what his alcoholism was taking from him.
Yep.
How his his being a hero is affected by alcoholism. Isipin nyo, you're seeing Iron Man flying through the sky, pero lasing siya. So it's really like, drunk driving. Sa totoo lang. And aside from that, sobrang lahat ng bagay about Iron Man, about Tony Stark, sobrang naapektuhan. His decisions in his company, the decisions in his life, yung mga tao na gustong tumulong sa kanya na he pushed away. Even when wearing that suit and when he's doing his heroic deeds, it really affected him to the point that katulad nga sinabi ni DJ, it almost killed him for that, and it actually almost ended his career as Iron Man. And if you do not know though, Tony Stark went on and off being Iron Man all throughout his career. Mga ilan na rin, he inadmit niya na, and then he denied it, and then he admitted it again, and then he created a satellite to burst the whole earth para makalimutan nila. He did a lot of things. Pero this one really hit the pan kasi this was his own doing. Mabigat na mabigat to. Mabigat na mabigat yung Demon in the Bot. And if you are, if you are connecting to this story, it's going to be a roller coaster ride when you read it.
True.
Yeah.
In fact, this story has been so iconic that the first Iron Man movie actually took reference to this. There was a scene dun sa movie no Iron Man 1.
I think it was partying.
Right, he was partying and
he was peeing
Yeah.
in his Iron Man suit. Yeah.
Wasn't it the Iron Man 2? I think that was Iron Man 2.
Oh yeah, that was Iron Man 2. Sorry. That was Iron Man 2. Si Don Cheadle na pala si
Zero
Iron War Machine. And this is a real world thing, and this is why it's so important. There was a time where I think this was also around the same time that Hank Pym, aka Yellow Jacket, also had issues with his wife. No? But the threat of alcoholism, and that's what Chino said. Imagine this is drunk driving, but you're not driving a car. You're in an Iron Man suit. That makes it 10 times more dangerous.
Actually,
10
just to mention lang, ito yung si Ant-Man who was also seen here in the comics. It wasn't Hank Pym pa. It was Scott Lang.
Yeah, Scott Lang pala.
Scott Lang. But yes,
Right.
definitely Hank Pym also had his own, his own troubled past, troubled
Mas
life.
malalayo yung kay Ant-Man.
Mas malayo yung kay Hank Pym.
Oo, mas malala yung kanya kasi it has something to do with relationships.
And it's also a good topic for the other episodes, definitely. Yeah.
But I want to ask the guys, because you guys drink, right? Do you guys drink? How does this?
I never touch the stuff.
You never touch the stuff when you're sleeping. That's what you mean.
Yeah, I agree. Plus one ako.
Dare you?
Ito, alam ko si Captain Mike meron tong he actually has, very rich kid to pare. He actually has, get this, a wine cabinet.
Oh,
Captain, oh my Captain, open my
Sino
wine
si Captain?
cabinet.
Wine cabinet? Iron Man!
Yan. But I want to get your thoughts on it. How does this speak to you, knowing that it hits a little bit closer to home, because you know what it feels like to be drunk. You know what it feels like to be drunk when you're angry. Everybody does. But with your experience in drinking as compared to me, because I'm a good boy, I'm a church-going boy.
Whatever!
I don't do
Guys,
that.
dito sa Gia, all facts lang. Ewan ko ba kung sinasabi ni BJ dito? What?
Pero sige, let's simulan natin kay Almond na Chumichi. Anong tinitibog mo dyan? Tingin naman ako.
Dodo pa.
Dede yata.
Ano
Dito
chinuchup
pa.
mo dyan?
Dahil
Dito pare, hindi. Ayan, sarap po. Tapos sasawsaw mo siya dito sa powder na to. Ganyan, no? Tapos sip-sipin mo na.
okay.
Pakiklip.
Napaka-badass naman nun, chumuchupon.
Oo.
Oh, napaka-badass naman nung naka-Neuralink na Rashid. What are your thoughts, pare? I mean, you have a particular fondness for this storyline. So how does it hit you? How does the story hit you?
Well, dito natutunan natin na hindi porke superhero ka, you're invincible. Hindi siya yung invincible Iron Man as we know it, 'di ba? And sa Demon in a Bottle, dito nila parang kwento na Tony Stark and Iron Man is a different entity. Iron Man is the superhero, Tony Stark is like the human, of course, obviously, 'di ba? Pero it's more of the real human side kay Tony Stark dito kasi it's more like kasi si Iron Man he faced his own enemies like yung mga kalaban, other villains, 'di ba? Pero Tony Stark is facing himself. So this just proves na Iron Man's and Tony Stark greatest enemy is himself. No one else. No one else.
Right.
Yun ang dating dito.
This is beside the fact na mayaman na siya, marami na siyang
Yes, everything. Yeah.
Oo. Marami na siyang nagawa sa buhay niya. He built his own suit of armor. Tapos ang magpapa-downfall lang sa kanya at least dito sa storyline na to is alcohol.
Mhm.
Yes.
And he drinks anyway. He drinks once he has an opportunity.
True, true. He created the world's best armor, but could not protect himself from
The
himself.
one inside the armor. Yeah.
Correct. You know, this story is such a great story. Did you know that it actually won an award in 1980 because of how John Romita Jr., which is the writer, by the way, and Bob Layton, who illustrated it. It's such a great and rewarding story that it won an award back in 1980. It's called the Eagle Award for the favorite single comic book story written during that time because it really hits close to home.
Wow,
Tama yung sinabi ni Ravenize. Sinabi ni Ravenize that even if you're a superhero, that does not remove you from the vulnerabilities of your humanity. There's a part in the story where he had this scuffle with sorry, Raffy.
'Di ba parang katulad nung nangyari kay Thor before, 'di ba? Nalugmok din siya. 'Di ba si Thor na siya, tumaba siya dahil sa kakainom niya. Tingnan mo nangyari sa kanya
Endgame.
sa Avengers.
Yeah.
Di ba?
True.
Talaga, hindi talaga maganda yung alcohol.
Right. General, ikaw, I mean, bilang isang matipunong ehemplo ng kalalakihan.
Punong ehemplo.
Yan.
Isang matibay at matipunong lalaki.
Talagang matibay. Tatawagin mo bang magkakabigote ka ba ng ganyan kung hindi matibay yan?
With tingling sensation yan. With tingling sensation yan kay General. Kay Chino, wala yan.
Ayusin mo yung pagkakabigas mo ng tingling, ha? Bisaya ako. Bisaya ka, General, no?
Bisaya kayo.
Because kay Bisaya sabi ko Bisaya ko, Gamayra. We're speaking French, by the way, if you guys don't know. Parlez-vous français? That's French.
Omelette de fromage?
Cheese omelet. Dexter's Lab. General, I want you to. I know you've read some comic books back in your day, but tell us about your experience with this story, particularly as you relate it to you having an iconic presence right now. Because again, this is a very relatable story among other things. This is one of the most relatable stories that Marvel has ever written. How does this resonate to you, General? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I mean, hindi naman ako siguro, I don't have a drinking problem. Like, I mean, hindi naman ako ganun ka-alcoholic. Like, I casually drink. Pero,
Pero nakasama lang kita sa iyo man, General. Alam mo,
mahirap
masaya.
balikan yung ganun, di ba?
Masaya ka naman.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, alam mo yun, talagang kapag nasimulan mo na, hindi na, wala na talaga eh. Parang kasi nakaka-relate din ako kasi hindi man ako ganun ka-addict sa pag-iinom, but I do smoke a lot before. So parang hindi lang nun kinain yung budget ko eh. Kinain din nun parang parang yung oras ko na parang kailangan ko I'm doing this thing. Parang tara yosi muna tayo before I do this thing. Like yosi muna tayo bago tayo mag-yosi before I do this thing. Ganun na. And then at the same time parang na-feel ko na nangihina na ako, like, tumataba ako. Tapos sabi ko, this has to stop. So kasi parang
and I have to say right now that General's mustache is Iron Man's mustache in this comic book. Tignan niyo,
Yes.
tignan niyo.
Oo. Ay,
Tignan
nasa
niyo.
screen nyo actually. Nasa screen nyo yung mga
Ayan,
slideshow.
tignan niyo yan. Tignan niyo yan. Tignan niyo yan.
Oo nga.
Di ba? Saktong-sakto eh. I want to ask this time to Raffy, you're also a Marvel fan, and Demon in a Bottle is how Marvel through the writing of John Romita Jr. Brought the story of what seems to be a very disbelievable character now, flying guy in a robot armor, right? Pero it brought it close to our home. How do you feel about would they come up with something like this? They haven't come up with anything like this before. Not at least centered in one character, diba? I mean, there's the X-Men Injustice about their race. Then there's so many other stories. Pero wala pang isa pang story na nagpo-focus sa isang character ng Marvel. Let me ask you, Raffy, if you were to pick a character that is going to face personal demons also, based on what you know, based on what would it be? Sinong character ang palagay mong magkakaroon ng similar storyline to Demon in the Bottle?
Ako siguro sa Demon in the Bottle siguro kung any character sa Marvel, ang iniisip ko na si Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde
from X-Men kung sa yes.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Actually, Kitty Pryde is actually one of my favorite characters due to her intangibility and
yeah.
Siguro when I read her story, parang she's actually also parang bullied in some way, and also parang if parang kung gano'n na mangyayari sa kanya, she will face her own problems na rin. Parang imbes na gawin niya yung parang magiging parang malala ang mangyayari sa kanya kay Kitty Pryde once she face her own demon. Kasi nga if I remember her story nung sa she was actually brought pa nung do sa Xavier do sa sa academy that time, and then she was playful kasi she can actually face two walls, ikipaglaro siya do sa mga then parang sometime back parang backfired sa kanya. And then, parang nagkakaroon din siya ng problema between herself. So, yun, yung mga ganang eksena sa kanya, pag nagkaroon din siya ng problema, baka mauwi din sa kanya yung mangyayari talaga sa kanya yung nangyari, yung parang kay Iron Man. So, isa yung naiisip ko na isa sa pwedeng magkaroon ng gantong storya.
Right. Yeah. Ikaw, Captain,
I agree with that. Kasi, Kitty Pryde has, simula nung nag-start siya sa X-Men, it took them long for them to accept her as, kasi, siya yung pinakabata at the time, nung pagpasok niya eh. And, she has always been thought of as the kid. Siya yung pinoprotekta ni Wolverine, si Nightcrawler laging nakaabang sa kanya na if ever medyo nahihirapan na siya, bang automatic teleport to somewhere safe. Na-realize lang nila na sobrang useful talaga yung phasing ability ni Kitty Pryde. She does not only phase, but she also electrocutes machinery, which was very, very useful nung time na kinalaban nila yung Mark 1 ng mga Sentinels.
Right.
And nung time na nasira yung Danger Room, she was the only one who was able to phase through, get to the control room, and save everyone. And Kitty Pryde is actually has a good storyline, and I agree. She actually survived a lot. She got killed herself, if you don't know that. And she got killed. She fused with a missile, and then she came back after a few years, I think.
Right. Before we continue, I just wanna ask. I just wanna give a shout out to Aaron Castro Lactawe, nagpapa-shout out eh. So she's
dude pa shout out.
Wow.
Shout daw.
She's starting her streaming career, guys. So any support that we can give, we definitely will give to you. We'll check you out, man. We'll check you out. Just to read, Lee Charles Dalena mentioned, naka-t-shirt to, I hope. It takes a lot of shit to admit. 2 years before I got over my dependency, you'll need a lot of help. But as long as people are believing in you, you'll get through it. True.
That's true.
And I think this is how Tony Stark also got through it.
Yep.
But I want to ask Captain. Captain is a huge Iron Man fan. I know. But if I were to ask the same question to you, sige na, I'll let Iron Man win just this one instance because I don't hit drunk people.
And I don't drive drunk.
Right. Kasi sige, if your Iron Man cannot handle it, sino ang ano mo? Ibibigyan mo ng character.
Shot mo nga sa ulo mo kung kakasya.
Ay, hydrocephalus eh. Teka lang.
Neuralink. Ayan.
Neuralink.
Ano ba?
Pag suot ko, parang ako yung demon in the battle eh. Pero sige, Captain Mike, who would you like to go through a similar storyline to Demon in the Bottle? Same question to you.
I would say siguro any character naman to siguro, no?
Yeah.
Na ano ko.
Yeah, same question as I asked Papi Raffy.
I guess I go for Spider-Man. I'd
Spider-Man.
like to see him go
That's
through
a good choice, actually.
Kasi may ano kasi si Spider-Man based dun sa movies at saka dun sa mga cartoons na nakikita ko about him, parang he has this humor and he has this confidence, ano. Gusto ko siyang dumaan dun sa point na nagsa-struggle siya because of alcohol dependency or any dependency for that matter. Tapos gusto ko makita kung paano siya masisave ng mga tao na sa paligid niya. So yun yung yun yung reason kung bakit siya yung mas prefer ko of all Marvel characters.
I see. If we were to give this to a video game character, which character would fit Demon in the Bottle the most? The best? Video
Luigi.
games this time.
Luigi.
Sa G?
Character.
Kung sa G characters, sino ba? Sino ba dito? Uy, meron tayong 100 pala. Habang pinag-iisipan yan, Mr. J. Nix. Work mode padaan, mga bossing. Thank you for 100 stars.
Yan.
Hi, Jane.
Thank you.
Salamat.
J. Nix,
From
shout
the
out to you,
US.
my dudes. Fist bump, my dudes. O sige, sinong video game character ang mag-fit dito? Palagay niyo.
Luigi.
Bakit si Luigi?
Nanonood ka ng college humor, no? Sige, bakit?
Di ba alam niyo naman na the most famous of the brothers is si Mario, di ba? So, syempre na-overshadow talaga si Luigi sa popularity ni Mario. And nakakatuwa lang if Luigi was given the spotlight. Isipin niyo yung mga video games na nag-starring Mario. Tapos, nandito yung Luigi's Haunted House.
Yeah, mansion.
Diba? I mean,
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. So, diba, I mean, give the dude some spotlight.
Right.
Diba? For me, yun talaga yung he's being overshadowed by his brother. Sa dami-dami ng Mario games out there, konti lang yung nagkakaroon na may Luigi. Sa mga bago ngayon, he's always a supporting character. And I'd really like to see him be focused on. It's time for him to save the dude. Diba? It's time for him to save Mario.
Mm-hmm.
True. They actually tried to do that in Mario is Missing, but it didn't sell it. It didn't sell. Ikaw, General, sinong video game character ang lalagyan mo ng gantong klaseng storyline? By the way, I just wanna say that Chino and Sir Ben have the same answer. Kasi sabi niya, si Luigi, meron siyang inggit kay Mario kasi may secret crush siya.
Alam mo, kami ni Sir Ben talaga, intelligent minds think alike talaga, Sir Ben.
Speaking of which, grabe, ibang klase. Sige, General, sinong video game character ang lalagyan mo ng gantong storyline? Na for you, fits. Any character from any video game.
Character from any game. Siguro, I'm imagining, John Marston, pero instead na siya yung namatay is si Abigail at saka yung anak niya. Imagine a drunk John Marston. looking for vengeance, di ba?
Yeah.
Na gusto niyang patayin yung Pinkertons nga, di ba? Parang parang kasi like it's in the Wild West, parang being drunk is normal. Pero like
Yes.
he does it like one step further. Like he becomes super drunk and
Parang
just
Punisher in dating.
Yeah,
just
tsaka
kills everybody.
Tsaka general, 'di ba, sa Wild West, 'di ba? Ang moonshine is like an illegal drug back in the day, like way back
Moonshine.
the Western, 'di ba? Yung mga moonshine.
Nakatikim na ba
Diba?
kayo ng moonshine?
Oh,
Wala pa.
Sarap. Sarap. Anyway,
Di ba
sorry.
matapang
Sorry, go ahead.
na gin yun?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Ayun,
Yeah.
really sa akin na parang I really wanna see, someone like na namatay ang asawa at anak and then just goes into this rampage looking for vengeance.
And you picked a really good game, Red Dead Redemption,
Red Dead Redemption.
Agree.
to affiliate that to it, no? Talagang swak swak talaga. Ikaw, Ravenize, since nabanggit ang Red Dead Redemption, sinong video game character mo ang maiahalin tulad? It's something that you could relate to Demon in the Bottle.
Si Sora.
Keyblade. Basta naka-mod. Oh.
After lahat ng Heartless, ng Nobody, ng ma-unverse na uwi sa alak.
Wala nang magawa eh.
Depressed na siya.
Or
Hindi,
it's
sa
like a
akin-
different timeline na parang siya lang yung natira. Na
Oo.
wala lahat yung mga kasama.
Oo. Baliktad,
diba?
no?
Tama.
Baliktad.
Nabaliktad.
Hindi, sa akin si Sam Fisher. Si Sam Fisher.
Sam Fish. Maganda rin itong mga
Interesting.
binibitawan
Interesting.
mo.
I don't know why.
Hindi kasi,
Bakit?
'di ba sa I think Splinter Cell's Essentials, 'di ba nakulong siya, 'di ba? Parang
Yes.
alam mo yun, from being a SWAT or whatever, and then tapos 'di ba parang naging fugitive siya, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So they kinda touch to it, pero I wanna see more, look, yung talagang nag-give in siya to his demons na why are these people framing me? Like, what did I do? Kasi ganun yung nangyari sa Demon in a Bottle, 'di ba? Like, he was framed for murder, 'di ba? Tapos
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Justin Hammer. Yeah?
this is the reason why like yung mga superheroes din, like yung identities nila are kept secret. Kasi si Iron Man, everyone knows who Iron Man is, 'di ba? So what they did was they exploit the Iron Man and the Tony Stark, and then Tony Stark like had all the pressure, so nag-give in siya sa mga demons niya, 'di ba? So yeah, ganun din sa Sam Fisher. I want to see like how he give in to his demons and then go back up. Sa sa Demon in a Bottle, he recovered kung paano niya pinapili siya. Is it the dreams or the bottle, 'di ba? Nandiyan actually sa slideshow na yan yung panel na yon. Pero do sa story ng Demon and Long Way Down, dun yung talagang mas malala na nag-touch sila sa story na to. Yun. Pero
Right.
yun lang ang sa akin.
True. Kayo, meron ba kayong entrance? Something that you can akin this to? Because and let me explain this a little bit. The reason why this story is such a hit close to home, because it really went into detail as to how the whole story of Iron Man went through a downward spiral. And this is very far from the Iron Man that you guys know now. You know, Iron Man, the worst that he did was just getting drunk and getting beat up by War Machine. That's it. And then he died at the end of Endgame. But in this comic book, it went so far from that. He affected so many characters, even Captain America, Avengers. He was framed by Justin Hammer. There was even a part where Namor got involved, and he was just letting go of himself here. And you know, especially during that part of the Long Way Down, nung umabot na doon sa story na yan, he's really trying to focus on an existential crisis. So, sino sa inyo? I mean, I'll get two more entrants. Which video game character do you think, Cap and Raffy?
Siguro ako ito, yung sinabi ni Banana sa comments natin, si Mickey Mouse. Diba? He's also a video game character.
No, they actually did a story. They actually did the story. Remember, No, remember the game Epic Mickey? It's similar to that. Remember that? So Oswald, remember how?
Oh, Christ!
Yeah, Oswald the Rabbit was the superstar of Walt Disney, diba? Pero he was mad that Mickey took it from him. So it was more about Oswald the Rabbit than Mickey Mouse himself.
Right. Damn, this is a game from Wii.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, a good game too. It's a good game too, and it touched on serious stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
Medyo seryosong Mickey Mouse to.
Yeah, it's the darkest Mickey Mouse story ever told.
Right.
Ayan,
watch
sabi
that.
pa ni
Maganda.
Senpai dito, meron daw episode na naging drunk si Mickey Mouse. Oh, di ba?
Is that one of those black and white things? 'Cause I think that I remember.
Possible, black
One of
and
those
white
things.
possible na ano. Kasi kung colorful yan, ako hindi papalabas yan sa, sa
Oh,
mga
yeah,
bata.
yeah.
Ikaw, Cap.
For sure.
True. Ikaw, Cap. Sino?
Video game character. That would be Bayonetta.
Pwede. Yes.
Why would you give that to Bayonetta? It's
Kasi-
not safe for a woman like that
No,
to get drunk like that. Dude, women, they're already powerful as they are. Why would you give them demons in a bat, dude?
I know na dun sa game kasi, 'di ba, meron na siyang mga special powers and all. Pero kasi in the game Bayonetta kasi has this finesse, has style, has ano eh. Gusto kong makita sa kanya yung what are the other demons she has na pwedeng lumabas pa dun sa ano kasi I know
Except
na
for the
she's-
big black one with the hair. No? Grabe yun eh.
A different, totally different demon.
Oh,
Yes.
kaya
Imagine if that demon was drunk, dude. Like, Jesus Christ.
yeah. Yung alam mong may pag nakita ko kasi siya with finesse and style, parang hindi mo akalain na iinom na maglalasing siya and would succumb to her demons. Gusto ko makita yung side na yon. And probably it's gonna be a more fatal side than what she currently has as a character. Kaya yun yung choice ko.
Ako may isa ako.
No, sino?
Si Kratos.
Ayan, is that the Dad of War versus?
The God of War version going for the God of War 4. Kasi if you remember the story of Kratos, di ba? Ganun din, similar dun sa sinasabi ni General. Namatay yung asawa at anak and the gods just niloko siya ng mga gods sa isip niya. And isipin mo na lang instead of just going to Olympus and killing all the gods, nagwala siya sa Sparta muna. Naglasing siya. Tapos yung flaming whips niya talagang ginagano niya sa
Galing.
Sparta.
Paano? Galing
Paano yun?
Ba't ganun? It doesn't deserve the
Pagod na si
blades of
Kratos
Athena.
lumabas bigla yung katotohanan. Ha!
Kratos nyo pagod na.
Iba dating yan. Iba dating.
You're one note left from a different game, man. One note off of a different game. Baka mamaging leisure suit Kratos yan eh. Pero before we continue, I just want to read some of the comments that our readers, our listeners have given. No? We have Joel Miller after Sarah's death. Oo nga. I'd never played that myself. But when I watched that scene, medyo tearjerker siya, di ba? Yung scene na yun.
Yun ang dapat nila gawa ng remake. Yung part na yun, going through the
Part lang na yun.
Oo, yung part lang na yun, how he copes with it. Tapos going through Last of Us 1.
Yung in between. Kasi the story ended when that happened and it then resumed na bounty hunter, na siya, parang mercenary. Ano ba siya? Smuggler siya eh.
Dapat ang gawin na lang nila, tuloy na lang yung remaster. Magkaroon ng remaster ng PS5. Tapos may DLC na ganun.
Sabi ni Joshua, Dante pretty much became stoic in Devil May Cry 2, as bad as that game is. Medyo naging taken aback si Dante during that time eh.
Yes.
Sabi ni Sir Ben, may game kami ganyan story. First game ko, Sniper Assassin. Lalaro ko yan, shameless plug. Please, guys, check it out. It's Sir Ben Banta's first game ever. Check it out. It's worth playing the game. Joshua also said, I played a game that has a familiar premise with the question, Night in the Woods. I think this is one of those games that not many people know of. So if you take a look at Night in the Woods, it has the same question of a what if kind of spiraling out of control. But yeah, then again, I mean, I just before we take off, and say that this is definitely a must read. You might want to take a look at when this thing was published. This was published in 1979, and it's published from Invincible Iron Man number 120 to 128.
Memorize.
Please check it out. And I think, would I recommend this? Yes, it's a huge yes for me. I'd say it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a 10 out of 10 story.
Pare, basahin mo nga muna yung comment ni John Jasper. Nag-send siya ng 100 stars. Yan.
Oy, John Jasper, maraming salamat. Pakisabi po kay General Tuna, mahal na mahal ko siya.
Teka lang. Mabasahin ko.
Sige,
Pakisabi po kay General Tuna, mahal na mahal.
Bakit parang hahalikan mo na yun?
Pakiklip.
Oy, bawal yan. Ako, mahal ko lang yung aasawahin ko nanonood ngayon.
Yan!
Huwag ka magkakamali. Hindi tayo si Tony Stark.
Sabi ko sa'yo, gusto mo makakita ng demon after the battle, yari ka, General. Ang nagsasabi, walang ranggo-ranggo dyan.
Hindi, baka demon throwing a battle.
Demon throwing the battle. But that's right. Phoenix Wright can apply this to after the event of Ace Attorney 4. Oo nga, no? This is a good thing to apply to Phoenix Wright. I would say that this is I want to start a rating, a rating thing for the things that we cover. I would rate this from a shot of Kali Shandy as the lowest to babarik ng moonshine na 1 litro. I would say moonshine all the way itong rating ko dito sa arc na to. Kayo guys, what are your ratings? Ravenize, ikaw. Demon in a Bottle, how do you rate it? Sige, cap, go.
Sige, Mike.
Sorry. Sige, nalabigyan na ako. I would rate this as a walang-wala.
Oy, parang pareho tayo ng iniisip pa. Walang-wala rin yung sasagot ko
Yan talaga, yung kapitan tsaka general, magka-bootcamp po yan. Ganyan po
talaga tong dalawang to eh.
Yan.
Talagang may synchronicity.
Yan, the walang-wala, by the way, is this famous drink na General and I actually went through. No? It's a very memorable drink.
Parang hirap ng
Wala na akong maisip na maayos na term eh. It's went through na lang, the drink that we went through.
Yeah.
That's over at Game Over PH, by the way.
Ikaw, General, anong rating mo, General?
Ayun, para sa akin, walang-wala din yung rating ko dito. I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of Iron Man, the MCU Iron Man, but not too much of the comics kasi di ko talaga alam kung saan ako magsisimula. But yeah, being an Iron Man fan, this is a walang-wala for me.
Happy Raffy?
Ako siguro, nag-iisip ako, I'm torn between 5 case ng Red Horse na litro. ganon yung walwal niya. Ganon yung rating.
Yung pumasok sa ilong ko.
Oo. Ganon yung rating ko sa kanya. 5 litrong Red Horse.
5. So in the level of 1 to 5 cases of Red Horse, yung sa'yo rating mo, walwal. Ganon.
Oo, walwal.
Parang kami po yung kay may Demon in the Battle storyline. Yung totoo. Raffy.
Walwal.
Ravenize, what's your rating for Demon in the Battle?
I agree with you na moonshine all the way. Yeah. Kasi I think during those times na when this was published, the superheroes were just all about the glamours, the glitz, the fame,
yeah.
diba? Demon in a Bottle opened up a whole new kind of series, like the backstory or what's going on behind those identity of those comic book characters. Kasi you can apply this to Bruce Wayne, diba? To people like yung sa Wakanda kay Black Panther, 'di ba? Kasi dito sa story na to, Iron Man is we know Iron Man like how he is, 'di ba? And everyone knows who Tony Stark is. So kay Bruce Wayne, tsaka kay Batman, kilala nila si Batman, kilala rin nila kung sino si Bruce Wayne, pero hindi nila alam na magkaparehong 'yun, 'di ba? So
Identity.
yeah, I think this opened up a whole new genre of storytelling sa comic book kasi how can I 'di ba? Let's say people wants to read the story about Bruce Wayne, not the Batman, the Bruce Wayne, 'di ba? So yun yung mga bagay lang na ganun, kaya moonshine all the way sa akin.
Bruce Man.
Awesome. You know, this story really just sets one thing apart, and we called Stay a While and Listen's Iron Man spotlight is tempered by fire, because Iron Man would not be Iron Man today if he didn't go through all of these things. And similar to the iconic struggles and to the iconic roles that we have here playing right in front of us. Did you guys know that there are some characters in movies that are so iconic, just like Iron Man, just like Batman, just like the characters that we mentioned, that if you replace their faces, it'll be very, very difficult to accept. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be tackling the iconic roles, and this is our main discussion for the evening. This is our G Spotlight coming to you now. This is casting for Geeks. And wala tulog tao? Kasi tulog tao ko.
Wala na yung tao natin.
Hindi nag-sync in yung banda natin eh.
Ganun po talaga, remote may delay pagka ganun. So yun, next time may delay po ang Zoom. But ladies and gentlemen, there are certain roles that have been cast for keeps in a lot of the actors and actresses that played very iconic roles in pop culture, in movies and all of that. And we find it very interesting to talk about simply because imagine, and this is just an opening statement. Imagine niyo ba, tanong ko sa inyong lahat. Pag hindi niyo kilala to, ewan ko na lang, magkalimutan na tayo magkakaibigan. Sino sa palagay niyo ang papalit kay Dolphy sa Jan and Marcia? Wala, di ba?
Si Jan Regala.
Gagahasain niya si Marcia tsaka si Matutina. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, even if you find the best guy to take up the mantle, and let me give you an example, which is Batman. Batman has been portrayed by countless people through the ages. You have Adam West in the 1960s. Then you have Michael Keaton. You have Val Kilmer, what's his name? George Clooney, Christian Bale. And for us, it's fine because we're really watching Batman. It doesn't matter who the actor plays at, right? But there are actors out there that has really taken on the role na kahit ipikit mo yung mata mo, siya ang makikita mo eh. And that has been stuck through all of us. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going through a list of things that we would say is really the character, the actor for the character, or the actress for the character, no more, no less. Starting off with an OMG moment for Iron Man. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that there are many actors who were supposed to play Iron Man, starting with
Nagulat ako doon. Pakiklip nga po, guys. Pakiklip.
Bago nagulat ako. Nakatingin ako dito sa notes ko, pare. Shit.
Natatawa ako doon sa sinabi.
Grabe talaga to. But yes, there are guys who tried to play the Iron Man role, beginning with Tom Cruise. You guys know this already. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise turned down the role. You know who else they approached? They actually approached the guy who was supposed to play Superman before Superman Returns. So, sige. It's a Tim Burton version of Superman. Kung mahulaan niyo yan. No?
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage.
Very good. Very good. Nicolas Cage was supposed to play Superman before in a Tim Burton version of Superman. And he was also approached to play Iron Man. He turned it down. The other guy played a villain in another Marvel movie starring Ben Affleck. Sino palagay niyo? He was a villain in the Ben Affleck Marvel movie. Sino yung artista na yun?
Ano yun? Si Colin Farrell ba?
Colin Farrell.
Yes, it's Colin Farrell. The guy who played Bullseye was also approached to play Iron Man. Here's one person that we didn't expect. Patrick Dempsey. Did you know Patrick Dempsey is supposed to be an Iron Man stand-in? Just in case, what do you call this? Just in case RDJ turned down the role.
sobrang busy ng schedule niya, di ba? Kasi surgeon siya.
Sino?
Neurosurgeon kaya
Patrick
si Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, right. Patrick Dempsey. Yeah. And one villain in the Iron Man movie was actually supposed to play Iron Man, such as Loki is supposed to. Tom Hiddleston was auditioning for the role of Thor, but this villain, Sino, the same guy who played Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell, was supposed to be Iron Man. Would you believe it? Would you take it, for example? Si Justin Hammer yung naging Iron Man. Matatanggap niyo ba yun?
Parang hindi eh. No?
Diba, hindi na. Siyempre.
Hindi.
Yeah. No.
Right? Right? I have a similar question to you guys. To me, the ultimate Banner, Bruce Banner.
Yan. Actually, yan yung nasa isip ko ngayon.
Sige, let's see if we're aligned. The ultimate Bruce Banner is Edward Norton. No. Kasi,
Luferig ata si Chino eh.
Luferig.
Because there's one more, and that's Eric Bana.
Eric Bana. Yeah.
The first one, Eric Bana. And then he was replaced by Mark Ruffalo. Right? The first time Mark Ruffalo was introduced during San Diego Comic-Con when they were talking about the Avengers movie, halos lahat sila nagpalakpakan kasi it was a returning cast, Iron Man, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. And then nung sinabi nila na reprising the role of Bruce Banner and the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, and everybody was like, why the fuck now, right? What? Right? I mean, everybody was like that. And then now you have nobody but Mark Ruffalo in your head when you think about the Hulk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who did you think it was? Who did you think it would be, Notch? The best Bruce Banner. Eric Bana for you. Why? Why is it Eric Bana?
Well, for me kasi in my mind, there are two Bruce Banner versions, di ba? The Bruce Banner version was the scientist, the radiation, and yung Edward Norton version na naging woodsman siya. He lived his life on his own. Yun yung dalawang Bruce Banner versions. And it was also portrayed in the comics. Mm-hmm. Ang sa akin lang, si Eric Bana kasi, actually, for me, siya yung naging perfect for that Bruce Banner original role para sa akin. Mm-hmm. I think he did great in the first Incredible Hulk movie. Siyempre, Edward Norton is Edward Norton. Hindi natin matatalo yun. Pero I never saw Edward Norton as Bruce Banner.
Yeah, me too.
When you see Edward Norton in a lab coat, playing with, radiation and with Barry Brandt, I don't see it. Pero Eric Bana, definitely. Kahit si Mark Ruffalo, I don't see Mark Ruffalo as that. Yun nga lang, maganda kasi yung pagka-portray ng Mark Ruffalo dun sa, sa Avengers movies. Sadly, he wasn't that popular enough to be able to have a movie of his own. An Incredible Hulk movie of his own. He's always their supporting character. Kaya for me talaga, best sa akin si Eric Bana.
Right. I just want to read out some of the comments here. People hated me for my comment of Edward Norton. So goodbye career in Facebook. I'm canceled now. BJ, you suck. Sabi. Canceled na ako. Totoo rin naman. Joshua said, I'm more on voice actors. So Fred Tatasciore, yung voice ni Hulk, yun ang sa kanya. And I think it's also very true when it comes to voice actors. I mean, Batman for me is always going to be Kevin Conroy. Always. Kevin Conroy. Animated series Batman. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through some of the roles, right? And you tell me who your characters are and who you think might be able to replace them and why they could not be replaced. I'm going to start off with General. And one of the first characters that I want to say is somebody who's going to have an upcoming fourth movie by 2023, I think, which is The Matrix 4, Neo.
Oh.
Who would Neo be for you? Or is there anyone else qualified to play Neo other than Keanu Reeves?
Man. I'm trying to think of other action movie guys. Wait.
Wala eh, no?
Wala, no.
Wala eh. Wala eh.
Walang
Like,
makapalit,
like,
no?
I was thinking about like, wala talaga.
Right?
Yeah, wala.
Similar to other characters, when we talked about Iron Man earlier, and RDJ is RDJ Iron Man forever. Nobody can change that, even to the point of your bigote. It cannot change. Okay, I'm just saying that it cannot change right now. Regardless of the cast that I mentioned to you, Iron Man will always be RDJ. And I think he got typecast for that. He can't play other roles anymore, and you cannot, and you will not see him as Tony Stark. Dr. Dolittle. Sherlock Holmes was his first character.
Yeah.
Was the first one before Iron Man. But now you can't see Sherlock Holmes
Pero
anymore.
Sherlock Holmes was a very, very good movie for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I like
It was a
Sherlock
very
Holmes.
good movie. Yeah, I did too.
I like Sherlock Holmes. Before Iron Man, he was Sherlock Holmes.
Pero-
but now Iron Man
Pero
is here.
sa lahat ng actors out there na international, of course, sino nakikita nyo kung hindi si RDJ? Sino? If not RDJ.
Eh di tanungin
Tanggalin si
natin yung
RDJ sa utak
may
nyo.
tanungin muna natin yung may idol kay Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man.
Sorry you're amid mutants eh. ikaw Kap. Sino ang ipapalit mo ngayon? Yan. Maliban kay General Tuna, yan lang ipapalit ko dyan, pare. Bigote pa lang eh. Yan lang ipapalit ko dyan.
The OG Iron Man, ano? We put General Tuna there.
Diba?
Pinag-isipan ko yan even past few days eh. Parang wala akong mapili. Kasi
Talagang RDJ lang.
RDJ lang. Kasi nung una ko kasing pinunod yung first Iron Man, when I saw his personality, nag-fit naman siya dun sa mga cartoons na napanood ko. He still has that Kaya, the way he talks, the way he presented himself as the character himself. Mag-iisip ka ng other alternatives di ba? Pero kagaya niyan, yung mga kinonsider na Iron Man roles, hindi ko ma-fit Hindi ko maisip na ganun yung gagawin nila sa Iron Man 1, 2, 3. Oh, merong contest si Chino.
No.
Ano yan?
Ako kasi meron. Matagal-tagal ko na naisip to before. Nung nakita ko si RDJ, sobrang perfect ni RDJ. Pero ito, para sa akin, isa to sa malupit. Kilala nyo ba si Nicolaj Coster-Waldau?
Who?
Nicolaj Coster-Waldau, a.k.a. Jamie Lannister.
Right. Jamie Lannister. Okay.
Isipin dyan si Jamie Lannister brunette. Same hair ni Tony Stark. Pakapalin yung bigote niya. Yeah, same stature, same tayo, same angas ng time na kay Jamie Lannister pa siya. I think kung hindi si RDJ, he would be perfect for me as Tony Stark. Pero that's me, that's me lang.
Interesting take.
Oh, may...
Ikaw,
sorry, sige.
Ano yan?
Sige, later na. Sige, go, continue.
Hindi. Si Almon kasi, gusto ko tanongin. He's probably, and this is just a little bit of information about Almond, you guys. He's probably one of the very few people that I know that has a very lukewarm reception of Iron Man in general. So as opposed to Caps, I love you, Iron Man. I will pee in your armor for you. I can be your armor. That's how much he does it. Ikaw, pare.
I will be your armor, baby.
Anything that anyone that would replace RDJ or talagang RDJ fan?
RDJ talaga kasi now if you cast him on different movies, there will be a question always na, is that RDJ or is that Tony Stark that we are watching? Diba? Is that a Tony Stark movie or an RDJ movie? Yun na yung mga tanong. Kasi there are actors out there who kind of suffered the same fate. Let's say Rocky, 'di ba? Sylvester Stallone. Kilala siya bilang Rocky. And then naging Rambo siya, 'di ba? Kilala rin siya Rambo. Oo, parang lahat Sylvester Stallone, even when he appeared sa Guardians of Galaxy, si Sylvester Stallone din naman 'yun. Parang
si Rambo. Parang si Guardian of the Galaxy.
Parang Arnold Schwarzenegger lang yan.
Oh,
Kahit saan man siya lumabas.
Oh.
Si Terminator.
Terminator.
Oh, pero that doesn't
Right.
mean na they're a bad actor, 'di ba? There are bad actors lang talaga na whatever movie kung
You
saan
fit
movie man
into.
sila.
Oo.
Oo.
No,
Sila
it
pa rin
actually
yun.
meant that they are very good actors.
Mm-mm.
Kaya
Yeah.
isipin mo, kasi pasok na pasok yung role nila sa kanila.
Mhm. Exactly.
For the benefit of the people who are listening here, there are two types of actors there. There are two types of acting. One is that you have a method actor and versus a character actor. A character actor changes his personality and becomes the character that they are designed to play. A very good example of that would be Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp plays his character so well, he disappears and he becomes Edward Scissorhands. He becomes Captain Jack Sparrow, right? And you remember the character more than the actor because that's how well they play the role. On the other hand, you have a method actor which then absorbs the character into their own personality, and the character becomes them.
The character. Yeah.
They become the character.
Mm-mm.
So far, that another good example of that is Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, is actually portrayed looking like Samuel L. Jackson in the Marvel Ultimate Universe. Pag nagbasa kayo ng Ultimate Comics, it's Samuel L. Jackson. You'll see him there, right? And that is probably another manifestation of another character. One of my favorite actors of all time, if not the favorite, is Anthony Hopkins, especially when he played
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter is one of my favorite characters out there. And Hannibal Lecter just disappeared and it became Anthony Hopkins deranged. Ganun yung dating nun eh. Although there was a Nick Fury, sabi nga ni Joshua, there's a Nick Fury here that's David Hasselhoff. Alam niyo ba yan? David Hasselhoff himself played a Nick Fury.
Yeah.
back
I remember that. Yeah.
Sabi ni Banana, si Carlo Dalisay nagiging si Paloma. Alright.
I think isang example din yan, para sa akin, it would be Jared Leto.
Jared Leto is the Joker. Jared Leto,
The Joker.
Yeah. Pero tignan nyo, I mean, if hindi joke, I mean si Jared Leto as an actor himself, para siyang para siyang si Johnny Depp that he goes into that role. He goes in that role. Aside from being Joker, if you watch all his movies, meron siya isang role na baklang addict siya. And he was so good in that movie. You would never think that he's Jared Leto.
Right. Yan ang method actor. Yan ang character actor. Yan ang character actor.
Heath Ledger, for one. Yung Joker Heath Ledger.
Grabe yun, no?
Same way kay si Daniel Radcliffe, 'di ba? I think if he goes into other movies, I still see him. Yeah, I still see him as Harry Potter unless they do something. Unless they do something like
wala eh. Actually, he was born in that role.
No, there was a movie.
Si Harry Potter.
You guys remember the movie Now You See Me Too?
Now You See Me Too. Yeah, it's like Harry Potter. He does magic.
right. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a parody of Daniel Radcliffe becoming Harry Potter as a magician in Now You See Me Too. Diba? I mean, who else would you put in there?
Napanood niyo na ba yung Swiss Army Man?
Hindi pa. Ano yan?
Swiss Army Man. Si Daniel Radcliffe is played as a dead guy. Tapos yung isang artista, he was using Daniel Radcliffe for different things. Kaya siya tinawag na Swiss Army Man. Parang rin yun.
Yeah, I think I found the trailer of this. Like, ginagamit siya para pang bukas ng something.
Lahat,
Yeah.
Ginamit niya pang tayo ng TED.
Right. Parang ginamit niyang bangka.
Alam mo, this movie sobrang weird. Pero kung nakita ko si Daniel Radcliffe dito, namatay si Harry Potter.
Ito yung Harry Potter na sinaksak ng Horcrux ni ang pangalan nun?
Kasi hindi na gumalaw.
Yun. Natalo ng Slytherin. Yun, ganun. General, I want to ask you though. So we talked about RDJ, we talked about Daniel Radcliffe, Johnny Depp. What can you say as a good aspect of a character of an actor disappearing into the character. Okay, so you cannot remove RDJ, you cannot remove Daniel Radcliffe as Iron Man and Harry Potter respectively. Ano sa palagay mo, okay lang ba to? Is this something that would happen? Because let me just ask you, in your role as a shoutcaster for Tier 1, oy, malapit na tayo sa highlight. Kapitan, malapit na. Kwento na yan. Pero sige, bago tayo dyan, you, for example, whenever you do your shoutcasting, a lot of the fans tend to really enjoy, listening to you and your separate flavor of shoutcasting, that when it's this game, it has to be this guy, right? Similarly, if it's this movie, it has to be this actor.
It has to be that guy. Yeah.
Right. But how does this then reflect to the future of a movie, of a title, where you now have to remove the character like you had to remove Hugh Jackman in Wolverine, right? He can't be like that anymore. Anong masasabi mo though? What can you say? Is it a good thing that actors continue to portray this really iconic role, and then for them to just leave it when they're too old to play it? Or
that's a good question.
Is that something that people should stop doing and just make sure that the character stays alive regardless of the actor that's playing it?
I think I'm more on the latter, no? Na parang it's supposed we should enjoy watching the character and not the actor. I mean, yeah, it's a good formula. Ako, hindi ko naman i-deny yun na parang parang hindi mo na pwedeng ialis yung ganitong actor in that character. It's a good formula. I mean, but until when? Like ever, 'di ba, hindi naman hapang-habang buhay yung character na to. Not unless siguro maka-discover tayo like this an AI na parang hindi na natin kailangan ng character, AI na lang gamitin natin, di ba? Di parang medyo malayo-layo pa tayo doon, or hindi pa malayo-layo, parang years pa tayo na kailangan natin i-develop pa, di ba? So, I think sometime it has to stop at some point. Kasi darating din talaga yung panahon. It's something na hindi natin, kumbaga sabi pa nga ni Thanos, di ba? It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yun na yun.
Agreed.
True. Raffy, ikaw, pare. You tend to enjoy actors a lot. Kasi hindi na natatanong, pag nagkukwentuhan kami ni Raffy, mapapagkwentuhan namin yung mga ganyan. And that the movies that we watch are always very memorable to us, primarily because of how the actors portrayed, the roles that they did and how they made it memorable for the people who are watching. Sa'yo, ikaw, pwede ba yun na we should just focus on the character irrespective of the actor who does it? Or would you rather have an actor portray it in such a signature way that the actor's presence and skill then carries the story of the character? What do you think? Pareho ka ba ng sagot ni General o hindi?
Parang same din, na ako nag-focus ako doon sa character, hindi doon sa actor. Nag-focus ako dun sa, pero syempre may times din na nag-focus ka rin on how the actors portray the character itself. So, pero mas gusto ko dun is we have to focus on the character of on the one who actually put the character there. Kasi again, hindi tayo robot, hindi yung mga actors natin and actresses, they are not robots, they are not AIs that will be young forever. Tatanda din sila. Maaalala nyo lang yung character. Pag namatay na yung maalala nyo lang kung sino yung character na yun. Hindi na yung tao. Yun yung ko doon.
Cap, is there anything wrong that RDJ did? Talagang dinidigahan ko yung Iron Man niya. Is there anything wrong that RDJ did for you that made him cement his role as Iron Man? Because now people can't see him as not Tony Stark. Such as Wolverine cannot be seen as not Hugh Jackman, Is it a wrong thing to do this, or are they just that good at playing the character?
For him kasi, dahil maraming beses nag-portray si RDJ dito, he did it so well na kumbaga yun na yung tumatak sa kanya ngayon eh. So now when people go out, they'd see him as Iron Man na, Tony Stark na. Hindi na pwedeng Kaya some people now would see, wala nang papalit diyan. Yan na 'yon. Is that a bad thing? Sa ako, no. Kasi ang dami niyang inanong rules eh. Kumbaga naisabuhay niya yung isang character na galing sa comics. Yung mga nagbabasa ng Iron Man noong 70s, 80s, and 90s, parang they live to see the day na yung Iron Man na nakikita nila sa comics was personified in the form of RDJ.
Yes.
So I would say it's not a bad thing.
I see. Now, if I were to modify it a little bit, I see one bad thing though. And this is what happens. And the bad thing is what happens to those who replace the actor.
Yeah.
Right? That's where the bad things happen. If you guys are not following, Disney Plus is showing their latest Marvel series, which is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Which
I was gonna go
doing.
into that route actually.
Right. And I'm gonna give this to Almond actually. This is like an introduction to it. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier has just introduced their latest addition to their cast, by the name of the fictional character is called John Walker, who is now positioned as the new Captain America. Now, Mon, could you walk us through what the reception was, and how did it affect the people watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier as opposed to the new Captain America character? Take it away, my brother.
Okay, sa reception ng kay John Walker, they've been sending him death threats, bro.
Oh,
I know. For real. There are.
Nauso rin yung cancel culture na alam mo yun, na lahat ng tao na dapat hindi siya yung pero I think fans they're invested so much, which is a good thing, pero wag naman sana mauwi sa mga death threats, mga ganon, 'di ba? Kasi they're not thinking about they're not thinking about like ang akala kasi nila na he's gonna be like the new Captain America, 'di ba? Pero he's portraying as US agent, not Captain
agent.
America.
Yeah.
Oo. Sa story lang talaga na at first na sinasabi nila na siya yung next Captain America, and people doesn't like that idea, 'di ba? Kaya yun talagang nauwi tayo
Sa comics naman, he did become Captain America first.
Captain America.
Oo. Actually, yung si Bucky din naging Captain America, and it was well received. It was a good Captain America, diba? Si Falcon din naging Captain America, it was well received din, diba?
It's true.
In the comics.
In the comics.
Kasi I think what happened here was, for the people who weren't following the comic books and did not know who John Walker was, kasi kung talagang halimbawa nagbabasa ka ng comics, nung binanggit yung pangalan, for example, ni Isaiah Bradley. If you guys are familiar, Isaiah Bradley was the first Captain America, the first guy who wore the Captain America moniker and armor back in World War II, and he's a black American. Right? And if he just mentioned yan sa Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and of course, not many people caught on who he was. John Walker was also introduced as John Walker, but because the people didn't know who John Walker was, it didn't matter. But when John Walker was introduced as Captain America, yung may bago na siyang uniform na US agent naman yung uniform na hindi naman yung Captain America yun and they didn't know about the US agent in the comic books. That's when people started attacking the actor. I forgot his name. What was his actor? His name is Wyatt Russell. There you go.
Sergeant
You have
Slaughter.
to expect din You really have to expect din for those na hindi naman masyadong naging natutukoy yung story ng Marvel sa comics, na nakilala lang itong mga characters sa movies. You really have to expect na magre-react sila. Kasi like si Almond here, nung pinalabas si John Walker as Captain America, hindi naman siya nag-react, hindi siya magiging Captain America kasi he knows the history behind it For these people na talagang only knew these characters from the movies, magkakaroon talaga ng negative remarks. Lalo yung episode 4.
Ako, huwag ka muna, hindi ko pa napapanood yung porn. Wait lang. Give
Hold
me
your
a
horses,
moment.
bro.
Okay? Give me a
Kalma
moment.
daw, kalma.
Pero knowing BJ for a while, no, as a friend, hindi to makakatulog pagkatapos manood nung ano.
Episode.
I already saw like what happened in the end.
Yeah, pero
I see the memes. I see the memes of US agent being compared to Homelander na eh. So I now have an idea of what's going on. Pero yeah, you're right. I won't be able to sleep well on it. But going back to that, another character na hindi pwedeng mapalitan and actually has actual backlash was Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman was untimely death, and again, God rest his soul. His death changed the story of Black Panther 2. Actually did. Kasi before, I remember meron tayong mga leaks. Yung mga leaks, mga legendary leaks
oh
natin.
yeah, yung leaks.
Right? And it was already confirmed that it was going to be Atlantis. It was going to be Namor. This is where, this and that will be introduced. But because he passed away, the minute fans found out that they might recast Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, medyo nagalit eh. So Marvel kind of like changed it and we're not going to do.
Press the panic button.
They pressed the panic button. That's exactly what they did. And now they're going to go for Shuri, who's going to take on the mantle of the Black Panther. Kayo, meron ba kayong ibang maibibigay na examples? Like a replacement actor to portray a very iconic role that kind of received what Almond was talking about. And I totally subscribe to Almond's thinking na the only bad thing that will come out of it is the guy who's going to take up the role and he can't. Any other actors you guys, especially for those who are listening to us right now, share us your thoughts. But kayo guys, meron ba kayong ganun? Yung pumalit tapos medyo hated yung kapalit?
I guess
I know. Papi General.
Ito hindi siya superhero movie, but I guess the latest, the live action Aladdin, where di ba the original genie was Robin Williams, right? Voice actor nga lang siya nun eh. He was just a voice actor for Genie. And then pinalitan like Will Smith yung naging Genie dun sa sa live action. And like Will Smith really like parang madami ring backlash. Hey Will Smith, that all he wants to do is like, give respect dun sa character nga ni Genie. I think yun parang isa.
Right. He did kind of suffer a little bit of backlash, no? Until the thing just died down, because he did admit that these are shoes too big for him to fill. And I think that was his escape route. Inamin niya, right? Sabi ni Joshua, you remember when Don Cheadle became Rhodey in Iron Man 2 before the MCU? Kasi sino ba yung Who was the first one?
Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard.
Right, Terrence Howard. And he got recast because of problems, right?
Yeah.
Sino pang mga napaltan na hindi kaaya-aya yung resulta? I know one, and that's been raging on ever since, the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and
Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man actors. Where do you stand on that? Do you think it's more of the character that's why it's not succeeding, or is it more of the actor that's causing the problem?
Ako, tingin ko kasi nagkaroon ako ng idea watching the three of them. The thing with, sorry viewers, Tobey Maguire, him being the first Spider-Man, he made such a good impression on the role, how he portrayed the role as Peter Parker, na nahirapan niya yung other actors after him to follow. So, kasi parang mas yung itsura how he started to just Peter Parker, then became Spider-Man, tapos yung mga characters, diba? Parang mas naging close yun. For me, na sa sobrang ganda nun and had a good impression on viewers, those who attempted will definitely get the backlash. So, kahit sino siguro. Pag ikaw yung nauna and you did a good job at this, pag may gumaya sa'yo, one way or the other, you'll get a backlash.
Agreed. Didn't do so well in the third movie though.
Yeah. Yun nga eh. Yun yung sasabihin ko sana kasi people want to forget about the third movie. That's why they accepted Andrew Garfield as the new Spider-Man.
Right.
Which
there,
I think,
yun ang pinupunto ko. The stigma of the third movie, how bad it was so fucking
How bad
written.
it was, yeah.
They actually look for a change of pace that they accepted. Ako, I still stand by thinking that I don't think Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. I think he looks the best Peter Parker. But the way that Tobey Maguire portrayed Spider-Man is still a lot better. Kasi the MCU Spider-Man is the MCU Spider-Man. Kung Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Kung Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker. Not necessarily the Spider-Man, but Peter Parker itself. Sige, kayo. Ikaw Almond. Sino ang nakikitaan mo ng ganyang problema na may merong passing of the baton problem, passing of the torch issue? Even if it's not in movies, no? Pero if you have somebody from movies.
Well, ito remember Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio?
Naantay ko yung Karate Kid.
Yeah. So when they did,
ko talaga to.
Yeah, when they did the next Karate Kid, si pangalan ng babaeng yun? Si $1 Million Baby.
Yung si 3. Yung Karate Kid 3, yung babae.
No, 4 actually. Yung fourth one. Si,
4 pala. 4.
Jaden?
Hindi.
There was a female Karate Kid.
Sikat na actress yun.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. There you go. So, she's such a good actress. Diba? When he did the next Karate Kid, ayun, parang this is not the same Karate Kid anymore. Diba? And I mean, Mr. Miyagi is still Mr. Miyagi, pero like the way they tell the Karate Kids, the next Karate Kid story, hindi na effective eh. Kaya ayun, hindi talaga pwede na palitan si Ralph Macchio's Karate Kid na
Out of curiosity, nabanggit ni Almond yan. Bakit mo nasabing it was not effective?
Kasi yung portrayal ni Hilary Swank itself and the humor, kasi Ralph Macchio was bullied, 'di ba? He was bullied in high school. He wants to learn karate para makabawi, 'di ba? But then doon pumasok si Mr. Miyagi na this is not how you learn karate. Karate is here, karate is here, karate is here. All of that lines, 'di ba? So with Hilary Swank, she's already good, not as a karate. Onting tweak na lang, she can be a karate master already. Tsaka walang magandang backstory kay Hilary Swank sa movie na yun. Kaya ayun, hindi maganda yung movie.
A similar movie that I could think about this na parang sobrang pilit was The Son of Mask. To me, The Mask is Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yes.
Away na tayo rito. It's Jim Carrey. Right? And then Jamie, what's his name? Jamie Kennedy. There you go. Jamie Kennedy comes in, has his weird hair. Hindi siya The Mask eh. I think nagmukha siyang kopya ng The Mask rather than a follow. It just didn't feel natural. Just like what you said with the next Karate Kid. Now, what can you say about the Jaden Smith Karate Kid? Gusto kong malaman sa'yo na.
Well, ito sasabihin ko kay Jaden Smith Karate Kid. The movie itself is not the problem. It's the title. Yeah. It's the title. The movie is actually okay, not the best, pero it was okay. The title itself is the problem. Like, how can you incorporate like a Karate Kid title into a Kung Fu movie? Diba? Una na yun. Diba?
Karate Kid na naging Kung Fu.
And of all people you got to teach karate is Jackie Chan. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, tsaka I think it's stupid sa movie yung backstory ni Jackie Chan doon na aayusin niya yung kotse tapos sisirain niya ulit tapos aayusin niya sisirain niya ulit. I think for me that's weird, sorry.
It is. It felt weird.
Right. Ikaw, General had a interesting reaction when I mentioned the Jaden Smith Karate Kid. What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest, I did not even finish the movie. Like, I sleep halfway. Last time nanood yung family ko, we're watching sa Netflix sa sala. I slept halfway. Again.
Talaga. You did not finish it.
It just, I don't know kung sobrang na-bored ako sa movie or like, di lang talaga niya na-catch yung attention ko. I don't know.
Right. There are so many things really. Si Notch, alam ko meron yan eh. Meron yang hindi pa kakawalan na actor sa movie na hindi na papapalit kahit kanino eh. Sino yun sa'yo, pare? Notch.
Talaga
Anong character?
si Hugh Jackman talaga as Wolverine.
I was expecting. Bakit? Bakit hindi siya pwedeng... There's gonna be a new guy, right?
Yeah,
Ito na. There's gonna be a new guy coming in. What can you say
Kasi
about...
Si Chino's reaction on that.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, tinapos na nila yun with Logan eh. Diba? And
Yes.
it was a glorious and honorable death, being someone na has a healing factor. Pero, ayun, I think the new one that's coming in, hindi pa naman natin alam kung paano nila ipapasok yung X-Men dito or yung mutants eh. Diba? Syempre with Wonderverse finally admitting that there are mutants in the world. Or hindi pa naman, actually, hindi nga obvious eh. Hindi nga sinabi na talaga may mutants. Pero, it was implied. It was only implied. And hanggang ngayon, hindi pa natin alam kung paano ipapasok. So, maybe a younger Wolverine, perhaps? Pwede. Similar to the all new, all different X-Men first class comic book series, diba? Yung nga lang ito, kasama silang newer, younger version of Wolverine. Pero never ko makikita ibang actor kundi si Hugh Jackman as the older Wolverine. If they're going to be repeating that, ewan ko. I don't know.
Correct. You know, just to take this home, guys, there are iconic roles and there are iconic characters. I think to us, you know, it's really just a distinction. Why did you watch the movie? Did you love the movie? Did you love the work because of the story and the premise of the movie? Or did you love it because of how the actors portrayed it? A very good comparison to that is the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where you cannot see anyone else to play Gandalf but Sir Ian McKellen, as opposed to the X-Men movies where Magneto is interchangeable to Ian McKellen and Eric Fassbender, right? It's either the character that separates it from the man and the man brings the character together. To which case, I then bring us to the end all and be all of iconism is, and what makes a person an icon is that his unique signature way of doing certain things. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us closer to our discussion to where we will now find out why. Why is a certain General Tuna iconic? And let me start off, General, with a question. We want to know, we want to be where you are right now. And we can only hope and dream to be having a bigote as suave as you without the side effects. So, speaking of your bigote and your iconic role as Tier 1's Dota 2's Shoutcaster, and as you mentioned, you're marketing manager right now. Social media manager. Malalaman mo agad yan, pare, sa tanong na to eh. General, ano ba umibig ang isang general na tulad mo?
Yun lang.
Because, you know, let me just give you a premise of that question. The way a man loves makes what you love about the man. Tandaan niya. The manner of which a man shows his affection is the kind of affection you will give to the man himself. So, with that question.
Did you see the reaction on his face when you threw in the question? He was expecting...
He was like,
I was expecting something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Ganyan kami sa G. Tignan mo. Wala pang break time, kumakain si Nod. Nasa Golden Gate Bridge si Raff. Ganyan kami dito, pare.
He was caught off guard. I'm telling you people. Sige.
I don't care from what agency, but we do things relatively differently here at G. Make sure your boss hears that, please. Okay? Please lang ha. So ngayon, tatanungin kita, pare. Paano ba magmahal ang isang general na tulad mo?
Before nyo malaman paano magmahal isang general na katulad ko, siguro dapat malaman din siguro nila kung paano muna mag-deal ng rejection.
Maging general. Alam paano maging general.
Diba?
Paano mag-deal ng rejection?
Yeah. Kasi di ako matututong magmahal ng ganito kung siguro di ako nakaranas ng certain rejection. So in terms of pag-ibig, Kasi ako, isa akong hopeful, romantic na tao. In a sense, I'm looking through the world in like pink tinted glasses. Na parang sobrang positive ko when it comes to love. Diba?
Sa lahat ng general na kilala ko, ito ang sweet.
Puro may hearts lahat na pum pum pum.
Hearts naman tayo dyan, guys. Hearts naman, oh. Hearts naman tayo dyan, oh.
Pag ano, yan.
Di, pare, di ako naniniwala sa sagot nyon.
Parang hindi rin eh. Kasi parang generic canned answer yung binigay mo, Brad.
Hindi answer, di ba? Ganun yan. Diba? Napaka-positive ko when it comes to love. Kasi ito, na parang, ano ba tawag dito? Now, even though sobrang dami kong rejections, like, hindi ako nawawala ng pag-asa. Na like, I'm gonna find someone out there na yung para nga talaga sa akin, di ba? Simula pa nung high school, ang dami kong niligawan, dami kong binigyan ng chocolate nung high school.
Ng bulaklak, gano'n.
Ng bulaklak, ayan, every Valentine's Day. Wala, parang
Okay. Actually, General, to save you, kasi iba kami dito sa G. We don't want our guests to have a problem answering our questions.
Okay.
So, let us help you finish that question. We actually have the answer to that question. Gusto niyo bang makita, mga kaibigan? Isang heart nga dyan. Parang ano to, kamprag?
Jess, pakibukas nga ng phone mo tapos punta ka sa stream natin.
Nanonood ka ba ng stream natin, General?
Nandito ako sa nanonood ako ng stream sa PC.
Okay. Tatahimik muna tayo, konting katahimikan, mga kaibigan. Mag-mute tayo.
2 minutes lang.
2 minutes lang at General, ito ang sagot sa aming katanungan para sa iyo.
Hello! So, it's my first time to do this. And, paano nga ba umibig si Jazz? So, I can say that he is very sweet, very caring, very loving, and very supportive talaga sa mga hobbies ko. And also, yung tipong magkakasakit ako, parang siya pa yung may iyak if I'm not well. And, I can say na very maalaga talaga siya sa akin. And also, pag nag-aaway kami, he puts down his pride kasi ayaw talaga na mag-worse yung problems namin. And I can say na swerte ko talaga sa kanya.
Yan!
Ano? Apa naman natin.
This is how we roll. Ganito kami dito, Jazz. Ganito kami dito. We have a lot of surprises.
Oh my God! Teka! Ito. Naging guest na ako sa mga shows. Like, sobrang dami beses na, mga guys, Ito, ilalagay ko doon sa top 1. Guestings.
Wait. Ganon? Ilalagay mo to sa top... Because of that video, ilalagay mo to sa top 1, tama ba? Yes or no?
Yes, because of the twists and turns. And then, yung mga questions hindi ko na-expect, yung pinakita niya sa akin.
Then, General, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you think this is it, pare, nagkakamali ka. General, maaaring magbigay-pugay kaming muli sa pagsagot ng tanong na yan with a remastered HD version of the answer. Para sa'yo, roll VTR.
Paano umibig si General? I can say that he's so very sweet, very caring, very loving, very supportive sa mga hobbies ko, and also yung tipong magkakasakit ako, parang siya pa yung maiiyak if I'm not well. Maalaga siya sa akin, and also pag nag-aaway kami, ayaw niya maging worse yung problems namin. I can say that maswerte ako sa kanya.
Pare, General Tuna, ang daming nagmamahal sa'yo. HD Remaster, Wakanda Forever. Ikaw na. Talagang may remake.
General, welcome to Gamers, Geeks, and Good Times.
Welcome to G!
yung good time, eto pala yung good time no?
Ito yung good time. Ito yung good time.
Pinapawisan ako.
Teka, sandali. Kasi tinignan ko yung reaction ni General, pero tinignan ko rin yung reaction ng comment section natin, ano. Ang pagbabasa ko agad, magbabago na isip ni General, di na kayo number 1, sabi nga.
Number 1.
General, minemorize niya yun, ha? Minemorize niya yun. Word per word. Ganun
Word
kalupit.
per word.
Yung pagmamahal niya sa'yo, ganun katindi.
Yeah.
So,
I just wanna give a shout out muna.
Sa'yo?
Wait, I would just want to give a shout out muna kay Miss Lala Leska for providing us that video.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to
Congrats
Lala.
sa wedding. Congrats.
Thank you, Miss Lala. So ito ngayon ang tanong ko sa'yo, balik tayo sa iconic actors and characters. Ano, importante sa'yo actor, importante sa'yo character. Gusto mo ba kahit sino lang magsabi sa'yo nun?
Actor na ako, doon ako sa actor. Buhay ko na yung sagot ko. Putik yan. Sa pinakita nyo, okay na ako sa actor, guys. yung actor na yung kakasamahin ko hanggat mamatay ako. Yun na yun.
Kanina character ka, General eh. Paninindigan. Anong uunahin mo? Character o actor? Ganon. Bayan o sarili?
Pero, General, congratulations dun sa upcoming wedding nyo.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congrats. Say happy for you.
This is our way of saying congratulations, no matter how sick the idea is. Sabi nga ni Lee Charles de Lena,
sana magalit sa amin.
na-trap.
Hindi ako magagalit.
Sana po, pota na trap na ambush yung army.
Si General Tuna yung nahawakan sa balls.
Huy!
Parang just I'm curious.
Sige, Almond, go.
Paano nagsimula yung story ni General Tuna?
Yeah.
Yan ang gusto na malaman.
Paano naging General Tuna?
Yes.
Kwento mo rin yung yung nangyari nung gabi. Alam ko yan eh. Napakinggan ko yan eh. Yung nangyari na ang alamat ng gabing iyon ni General Tuna. Siya, sige. Please, the floor is yours. Total, we floored you with the message anyway.
Ano ba? Simula. On Fateful Day 2017, yun. Naghanap lang siguro pa nakita ko yung parang casting call para sa Wombo X Combo. Tier 1, parang kasi tie-in pa yung Tier 1 at Wombo X Combo nun. Naghahanap ng Shoutcaster. Tapos, sabi ko sa sarili ko, subukan ko kaya. I mean, nagsha-shoutcast naman ako. Mga small-time shoutcasting sa mall, sa mga ganun. Sabi ko, subukan ko. Then, syempre, pakitang kilas ako. May cast ako doon. Tapos, tulog yung mga tao sa bahay. Sinubukan ko mag-record. Then, sinend ko. Alas 12 ng madaling araw. Alas 3, di na ako nakatulog. Alas 3, naka-receive na ako agad ng chat kay Trike. Parang, pag ikaw ba kinuha namin sa Wombo maging Shoutcaster, tatanggapin mo ba? Ganun. Nangyari naman kasi nun. Ano nga yun? Hindi, teka. Hindi, natanggap ko yung message ni Trike alas 3. Nabasa ko umaga na. Nagising na ako parang umaga na mga 7. Then na-reply ko na lang. Sabi ko, syempre, yes. Diba? Definitely. Yes na yes tayo dun. And then, what happened that entire day, parang nag-usap kami about, yun nga kasi, pinitch na ako sa team, pinitch na ako sa Wombo. And then, di pa ako nakakapagpaalam sa parents ko na, na pumunta ako ng Manila. Pero tinagap ko yung trabaho. And then, within that day, may ticket na ako papuntang Manila. And, doon nagsimula yung pagiging yung pagiging Shoutcaster ko. Yung pagiging General Tuna ko, that was like yung unang casting ko talaga. Yeah. Kasi yung bigote ko hindi ganito dati, may ganun pa yun. Kasi may ganun.
Nakikita ata sa slideshow yan. Nasa slideshow natin yung mga story ni General Tuna. Yan, mga
basta may ganun. Diba? Tapos, ayun na, sinabi na parang, uy, kamukha mo, ano, kamukha mo si General Luna, di ba? Kamukha mo si John Arcilia. Talaga ba? Kamukha ko ba talaga yun si General Luna? Dahil nga lang talaga sa bigote ko, sabi ko, sige, General Luna. Pero sabi ko, hindi original eh. Kaya napaisip ako, bakit gawin na lang natin General Tuna? Kasi taga-Gensa naman ako, Tuna naman yung sikat dito, di ba?
Smart, iba. Iba to.
So, General Tuna na lang.
Yeah. Curious ako sa story. So, alam mo yun, lumipad ka na sa Manila. What was it like meeting Trike the first time, like in person? Like the young Jazz Comoda here meeting Mr. Trike. Like, sir, Mr. Jazz Comoda here. And yun. Tell us the story about it.
Ang nangyari doon, ano, di ba kasi Tier 1, Manila. Nung una, like the first hour I was there, gusto kong bumakout kasi parang feeling ko di ko kakayanin ng Manila. Gusto ko sila i-text. Sabi ko, ayaw ko na. Pero sabi ko, sige, I will push through kasi nga, yung time na yun, parang Tier 1, mamimit ko sila Alodia, sila Kuya Nick, sila Trike. Sabi ko, sige, I'll give this a shot. Kapag hindi ko kinaya within a week, I can just go out. And then parang back na. Sige, pumunta ako na doon.
Okay.
Pumunta na ako sa condo. And after nung pumunta ako sa condo, inintroduce ako sa team, lahat-lahat. Hindi ko pa namimit si Trike noon. Parang ano pa yun, sinama pa kami, sino ba kasama ko pumunta ng high grounds noon, doon ko na-meet si Trike. And then parang may nangyayaring event doon sa, may nangyayari parang event sa high grounds noon na Dota tournament din. Pero Dota tournament siya ng inorganize ng UPGG na para kasali doon yung mga UAAP teams na naglalaro ng Dota. First day.
Nice.
First day, pinagkas na agad ako ni Trike. Grabe, ganito ba talaga to si Trike? Pinakain agad ako sa pating.
Oh.
First day.
Sana naman bayad yung first day, First day on the job, paid day.
Payday naman kasi after 15 days may natanggap din naman ako eh. So, may sahod din naman ako natanggap after 15 days.
Libre naman yung pagkain mo sa high grounds nun.
Ay, libre. I'm there for the food din.
Hindi kami nagte-take notes, ha? Sinasabi ko lang, hindi kami nagte-take.
Tawag dito, Jazz. So, ayun, you did that UPGG thing, di ba? So, nakuha mo na yung sahod. Like, how did you spend it? Like, what was going through your mind at that time? When you were spending
you finally
it? Like,
got paid.
This is my reward. This is my first gig right here.
Pero sa akin lang, nung nakuha ko yung unang sahod ko, nung nasa isip ko talaga nun, parang nakakamiss magbakasyon. Gusto ko umuwi para magbakasyon. Yun agad. And the first thing I did was like, book the flight going home. Parang papunta at pabalik din. Sabi ko, uuwi ako sa birthday ng nanay ko. Pumunta ako ng nasa Manila ako ng June eh. Sabi ko, pagka-August, uwi ako. Yun, nag-book na agad ako. Yung unang sahod ko, binook ko na ng ticket yun pa uwi. Kasi gusto ko nang makita pamilya ko eh.
Oh.
Right. It really did make you miss home bigla, With all of these changes, it does call you back home. So anong reaction pag uwi nila? Now you're overnight, didn't happen overnight, but suddenly here you are, right? Now branded as General Tuna, officially Tier 1. Now shoutcasting Dota tournaments in high grounds, getting paid after 15 days. You have made it as far as, a lot of guys like us are like content creators na finally getting paid for doing the stuff you love. And that is the dream always. And you've made it to a point. What happened when you got home? What was the reaction of the people? What was your feeling when you got home? What was it like?
Pero yung feeling ko nun, talaga kasi sobrang sobrang uwing-uwi na ako. So masaya ako nakasama ko yung pamilya ko. And then finally siguro my parents na rin din, tinanggap na rin ako na ganito nga yung gusto kong gawin sa buhay, di ba? Na I'm built for something na I love doing and then I'm earning money. So parang hindi ko naman masabing wala na silang masasabi, pero they're actually, doon ko naramdaman na they're proud of me. When I started showing up on TV, getting larger gigs, mga ganon. So, after nun, Parang okay, umokay na rin ako sa family.
Yeah, so yun na nga, nandun na tayo. You appeared on the TV, you have all the big gigs, di ba? So, when did you realize that you are famous? Like, let's say you go out to the public, when did you realize that, oh, I'm famous now, like I'm General Tuna now, na everyone knows me now?
I guess, so yung first time ko na-overwhelm sa sobrang daming nagpa-picture sa akin was, I think it was ESGS. If hindi ESGS,
2019?
No. No, hindi siya ESGS pala. I think, Galaxy Battles 2018. Yung parang supposedly major ng Dota dito sa Philippines, but then hindi naging DPC event. Tinuloy pa rin. Not much details about that event, pero yun, tinuloy pa rin yung event. And then nakita ko lang na dumadaan ako doon sa may crowd, everyone was saying, General, gano'n sila doon sa
Nice.
sa pa yun sa Philippine Arena. So parang there's a crowd of people, pagdadaan ako, sisigaw ng General, gano'n, titingin ako sa taas, sobrang daming kumakaway. So like this, ganito ba talaga yun? So like, pupunta pa ako doon kasi may mga bleachers doon, pupunta pa ako doon sa baba ng mga para makapagpa-picture lang, di ba? Baby, pero selfie tayo, ganun, lahat pumupunta. Sabi ko, ganito na pala talaga yung feeling ng na maraming nagpapa-picture. Meron pa nga, nakita ko, nagpa-autograph ng keyboard niya. Diba? Parang permanent marker pa yung pang-autograph ng keyboard. So,
nice!
doon naramdaman like, ganito pala talaga kadami yung sumusuporta sa akin.
Speaking of autograph, meron bang pinaka-weirdest place na ma-autograph ka? Kaya sabi ko, pa-autograph ako dito!
Tapos labas ng ganyan, naglabas
ng bibig. Pero lalaki to lalaki.
Naglabas na gumanon.
Ano yung weirdest? Weirdest request?
May nasa isip ko dalawa eh. Una, medyas.
Teka.
Medyas.
Bago medyas ba to?
Hindi naman yung hinubad sa harap mo.
Hindi. Wala siyang paglalagyan ng signature.
Kasi hindi ko na inamoy. Una, medyas.
Ang tanong.
Puting medyas. Tapos itim na marker. And then, pangalawa, Balenciaga na sapatos. Yeah. Nagulat ako. Kasi pinapirmahan niya sa lahat ng Tier 1 talents, kina Try, kina Alodia, kina Kong, ganun, Balenciaga na sapatos.
Grabe naman yun.
Wow.
Yun yung weird. Like, dude, ang mahal na ito sapatos ito.
I just need to say that you've made it when the value of the shoes no longer matters just to get your signature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ganun.
Oh,
Good, pare.
Since napag-usapan natin si Trike kanina, 'di ba? It's not a secret na you're always saying this na you're a big fan of Alodia, 'di ba? What was it like meeting Alodia for the first time?
Yan.
Actually, yung pagpasok ko ng Tier 1, that wasn't the first time I met Alodia. I was a fan of Alodia before. Buti nga wala kayo nahanap na cosplay picture ko na lumalabas dito. Hindi kayo.
Madali lang yan.
Madali lang
General, your order is my command. Just a moment.
Ayun, hindi ko tinatago to. Cosplayer ako before. And I was a really big fan of Alodia din. Kaya I met Alodia 2012 nung nag-open yung kauna-unang SM dito sa Jensen. Kaya alam ko late kami nag-SM dito. So, it's different meeting Alodia as a fan and meeting Alodia as my boss.
Boss.
Sobrang iba. Sobrang layo. Na parang gusto kong mahimatay, gusto kong mag-spaz, gusto kong magpa-picture, magpa-autograph, lahat, magpa-add sa FB, but I have to be professional kasi boss ko siya. Ganon.
Yep.
It's parang nagpipigil ako kasi I have to be professional.
Let's say right now, 'di ba? You see Alodia, paano yung mga batian sa Oy pare, parang mga paano yung batian ni Alodia, si Trike, yung kayo? Paano yung pagbabatian
what's it like to be calling friends out in the workplace at Tier 1? Ganun.
Boss, kamusta boss? Like you'll see Trike holding lightsabers, flinging lightsabers all around dun sa Say, Trike, kamusta? Like, yo boss, hi, ganun. Medyo minsan may kahiyaan pa nga eh. Pero, well, parang casual na lang. Parang lagi mo na siyang nakikita. Like, siguro once a week mo makikita si Elodia or di once a week, once every 2 weeks, di ba? Kasi kami, di naman kami sa office sa studio naman kasi kami nagsistay talaga. So, yung minsan lang.
Ngayon ko lang na-realize ganun ka badass si Trike pare. Nung nakita ni Jazz, may hawak na lightsaber pare. Gusto ko, curious ako.
Ewan ko lang, kung hindi ka...
I'm curious. Sobra.
Boss Trike, tapos may hawak na lightsaber, you know?
Parang naglalakad na ka, like flinging gumagano ko ng lightsaber. It's just a fun, boss.
Tapos nung tinawag mo, no? Boss, o bakit? Di boss, babalik na ako sa trabaho. O naman, di naman ako maliti. Okay. So I wanna add on to that. I wanna add on to that question. Now that you're officially tier 1, you're now a talent, you're now a shoutcaster. And again, living the dreams of many of us Pinoys who look up to you, as somebody who's made it. Is there anything, and it might be, stop me if you don't want to answer the question, okay? And the question is there anything, since you're involved in esports, okay, is there anything that you would like to contribute more? Because you've done more. Sikat ka na eh. May pangalan ka na, kilala ka na ng tao, people love you. But is there something that you want to do to improve the industry that only General Tuna can do? What would it be? Paano mo i-improve ang industriya ng esports na kinalalagyan mo ngayon?
Yun nga yung akin eh. Parang yung goal ko kasi talaga bakit ako pumasok sa esports is to be someone na maaalala ng tao kung aalis ako sa esports, di ba? I don't wanna be remembered as, uy, kilala mo si General Tuna? Sino yan? Like, your Shoutcaster. Like, di ba? Parang ganun. Like, I wanna do something na talagang it would affect the lives of people na gustong pumasok sa esports. I want to be, hindi man the next Strike Gutierrez, I want to be the next Pao Bago, I want to be the next Ren Vitug, di ba? Na parang ganun. Na gusto ko mag-lead. I want to bring more people in. And parang gusto ko maging living example na hindi kailangan sikat ka, hindi kailangan marami kang followers, hindi kailangan pogi ka, di ba? Para makapasok ka sa esports. Because like someone like me from a city from the south, na siguro diploma lang ang meron ako, nagawa ko nga, di ba? How much more with people na merong mga connection, merong mga, alam mo, they have the skill, they have the education, they have the experience, di ba? Most likely, kayang-kaya din nila.
Nice.
I think it's similar to I think it's similar to kung ano yung gusto namin gawin sa G. Kasi, syempre, all of us here, kaya namin binuo to is really, we wanna leave a mark on the industry that we so love. Lalo na yung pop culture as a whole. Kasi yung pop culture here in the Philippines, hindi naman ganun kabigat eh. Unless, you venture out to other countries. Pero with G kasi, I think medyo similar din yun na you wanna leave a legacy for yourself. Na even after esports, nakikilala ka as hindi lang sa General Tuna, but also just Comoda.
Yeah.
Diba? So it's similar to us na not individually, I guess, but collectively, we want to be known as G. The Gamers, Geeks, and Good Times pop culture podcast. Parang ganun.
The premier.
Yeah, the premier pop culture podcast. So we totally agree and totally connect with, we totally relate with what you're saying.
Pare, curious lang ako, parang Jazz, where do you see esports now and the future of it? Like the whole esports itself?
Particularly in the Philippines.
Yes.
Particularly in the Philippines. Yung trajectory kasi talaga ng esports, nowhere to go but up eh, di ba? And every single time, more and more people or more and more entities na parang nakikilala din ng esports. Like the biggest milestone so far was the involvement natin sa SEA Games. Yun. And kumbaga, Philippine esports has come a long way. Diba, nalala natin dati, hanggang Comshop lang tayo eh. Wala tayong outside Comshop wala na eh, 'di ba? Yung dayo-dayo pustahan. We've made it to national television, we've made it internationally, 'di ba? As long as may mga gustong maglaro, as long as may mga tao na nasa esports, at gusto yung parang parang the drive na iangat nga yung level ng esports internationally, 'di ba? Kumbaga magiging na rin tayo, magiging hub na rin tayo for esports soon.
Right.
Siguro in the next, I think hindi nga next 5 years, like in the next 2 years maybe, na we're producing esports talents, esports players. We have Bren, 'di ba? Bren na nga nananalo na ng M2, 'di ba? Meron tayong Dota teams na nakikilala na sa Dota. Then meron nga ito nga nagsisimula na may Valorant na tayo, 'di ba, ng mga teams din. So, kumbaga hindi na malayo yung recognition ng Philippine esports.
Right. Just to further dig into that question, what do you think the Philippine esports scene needs based on your perspective? What do we still need to get to that level where we need to? Kasi ikaw na nagsabi, may Valorant na, may Dota. Dota is still pretty much alive. And there's nowhere else to go but up. But that also begs the statement that we're not at a height where we need to be pa. Diba? It's not that high yet. That means we're gonna go up simply because we're coming from a lower altitude. So for us to get to where we need to be, how do we get there? What do we need from your perspective?
Para sa akin, I guess we need more leaders. Kasi, to be honest, iilan lang talaga kasi yung kilala natin na parang, kung mga nagsi-spearhead, diba, nagli-lead ng lead the charge, kumbaga, ng esports. And, kumbaga, yung people that would set as an example na yung esports hindi basta-basta. Yung esports, okay lang kung bata ka kasi dyan ka naman talaga nagsisimula eh. Pero like people na magiging example, like living examples of professionalism and and yung parang esports hindi lang pera-pera to. Diba? Yung esports, esports, it's a serious industry na na talagang it provides jobs, diba? It provides careers. Parang ganun. Hindi yung para sa akin, like more leaders, diba? More examples, like more living examples. Na ngayon parang limited pa lang kasi talaga.
Yeah, since na-mention
Like
kanina.
just give the new people, para sa just give the kids to someone to look up to. Parang ganun.
Yeah, na-mention kanina ni BJ
question.
na wait lang Raffy. Na-mention
Sige,
kanina
sige,
ni
go, go,
BJ
go, go.
yung tungkol sa mga cosplay pictures ni parang Just. Nandito na siya. Added na siya. Kasama na siya sa slideshows natin.
We found one.
Titignan ko
No, not only one. That's 4. That's 4, man.
Oh, you thought we got one? Dude, you forgot. You're dealing with G. You thought did those videos not teach you anything, sir? That's how we can do it, right?
Apat nga,
Abang ko na. Tinitingnan ko na yung live stream, yung slideshow. Kaya abangan ko yan.
Don't worry. You don't need to look for them. They'll find you.
Oo.
appeared for you.
Alright.
Anyway, sorry, Raffy, go ahead. You had a question.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Since then, diba, we had also issues regarding people na saying esports and like computer playing is a waste of time for us, mga katulad natin. What can you say to those people na nagsasabi na ganun yung thinking about the esports industry as a waste of time, a waste of money, doon sa mga katulad ng mga ibang yung mga taong ganun?
Para sa akin, ano ba? I mean, there's not much. Kasi kapag kasi yan, di ba? Kapag tao, nakita ko na yung picture ko. Kapag yung tao, di ba, fixed na yung idea nila about esports, mahirap na silang, mahirap nang baguhin yung perspective nila na parang, ito, yung ML, yung Dota nakakasira, yung Valorant nakakasira, yung gaming nakakasira, parang ganun. Sobrang sobrang hirap ng baguhin or i-twist yung kanilang perspective about that. Maybe na lang yung just na lang siguro like ipakita na lang talaga natin through, 'di ba, through in our own way na parang kung hindi man natin mabago yung isip ng mga tao na yan, 'di ba? Let's have more people. Parang alam mo yun na baguhin natin yung ibang tao na hindi pa close yung isip nila. Kasi wala nang magagawa yun, wala na tayong magagawa dun sa taong close ng isipan eh. Kaya mag-nurture na lang tayo ng mga bagong tao that give them an idea na there's really nothing wrong with esports. There's really nothing wrong with playing games as long as nare-regulate lang, 'di ba? Na kumbaga kumbaga sa tamang
Responsible gaming.
Responsible gaming, parang ganun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
go ahead.
Sasabihin lang ako sa'yo, parang Jazz. I really wanna thank you for all your contributions sa esports, sa gaming industry, sa lahat ng mga na-contribute mo. Kasi pare, hindi lang sa computer shop, pati din sa arcades ng fighting games, di ba? Dati, we're just known as a gamer na who plays, who competes, computer shop per computer shop, arcades by arcades. But now, like you brought us, you're one of the person that brought us into national TV. Like
Yes.
you're one of the people that making people recognize the gamers out there. So we really wanna thank you for that. Pero bago yan, Jazz, there is someone who appreciates your work. Yeah, we have others here. Other than us.
Did you know?
Oo. Sa mga fans mo out there, meron pa kaming mga tao na who appreciates you so much.
Nothing special, I mean, don't. Nothing special. But,
Oo. So,
This is nothing.
oh, eto na siya.
Hello, Jess.
roll BDR, guys.
Kumusta ka na, buddy? Again, maraming salamat nga pala sa ang mga tulong mo sa esports. Keep on inspiring people, pare. Kasi alam naman natin na yung mga, lalo na ikaw, dami mo nakakwento sa akin na magkasama pa tayo dati. Yung work ethics mo in terms of casting, and then sinishare mo, nagme-mentor ka, tuloy mo lang yan. Napakalaki ng contribution mo sa Philippine esports, and hopefully pagbalik ng lahat sa normal, marami ka pang matulungan. Again, keep on inspiring people. Isa ako sa mga na-inspire mo, kaya nakapasok din ako sa industriya. Hope to see you soon, pre. Ingat ka lagi dyan.
Yan. Pero di pa kami nagtatapos dyan, pare. Meron pang isa.
Nako.
BJ, yung mga tauhan natin sa likod ng truck, parol ng pasabi yung VTR. VTR
Parol
natin.
VTR.
Yung red carpet.
Teka, nakamute. Teka, take two, pare, take two.
Ulit. Take two. Cut. Mga kaibigan, let's all say roll BDR in 3, 2, 1. Pa-heart naman dyan sa comments. Let's go.
Roll BDR.
Yubu! Anyway, congratulations sa lahat ng mga achievements na narating mo sa buhay mo. And I know how hard you put all those efforts para marating kung saan ka man naroon ngayon. And I pray to God that sana ma-achieve mo pa yung mga goals mo sa buhay. I know that I will be there to support you. And if mahirapan ka man, nandito lang ako.
Yan.
Diba? Ano?
Nako, grabe naman to. Ang daming baon
Oo. Siyempre, the good times.
Ganun
dapat,
ka-special sa amin.
Oo. Ganun ka namin kamahal. Actually, meron pang isa. Meron pa isa yung remastered version.
Gusto mo may play? Play mo natin.
Hindi, joke lang. Wala.
Hindi pare, i-roll BTR ko na kung ultra remastered na yan. Baka hindi na remastered, remake na. May sarili na siyang atake doon sa ano.
You'll never know.
Amazing.
pero yun, you know, we really appreciate this, and I think I speak in behalf of the guys when I say when I say that I agree wholeheartedly with what Albon said. You have catapulted, you know, Pinoy gamers to the level where we need to be. As you said, national TV, and if we're on national, the next step is to go worldwide, right? And ako, I'm a huge huge advocate of Filipino content. Kasi magaling ang Pinoy, kaya ng Pinoy. Given the opportunity, kaya ng Pinoy. And where do you look? You look at General Tuna, right? This is an exemplification of what it is. And we really appreciate your time. So I'm going to give the floor to the guys and if you have any last questions and last comments. Because unfortunately, as much as we would want to make tuloy this into an inuman session, we're running out of time. So I'd like to give the guys to give their final comments and statements about this show. And if they have anything to say to General Tuna or a question, go ahead and do that. I want to start off with Raffy. Raffy, your final statements for the evening, my man.
Well, yes, I had fun with our podcast tonight. Again, thank you so much, General Tuna, for joining us tonight. And I hope hindi ito yung huli na makakasama
Yes, hindi dito magiging huli.
Ayun.
May remaster version sana tayo.
May remaster at remake. HD remaster international version.
Dapat sunod sa studio na, no? Yun,
Oh, yan. Maganda yan.
Ang pinakamaganda mong sinabi. Yan.
Yes.
So, alam na natin.
Moonshine.
Yes. Yun lang. So again, guys, I hope you enjoy our podcast. So again, hope to see you again on our next podcast. Yun lang, guys.
Thank you, Raffy. Captain Mike, up yours, man.
Ako naman.
Up yours! Ano up yours?
Huwag ka na magulo, Chile.
Bakit mo
yung sinabi ni PJ? Up yours? Bakit mo
film na? Hindi ko na nga gustong mahuli. Up yours, Captain.
Okay.
I'm a general.
Sa akin siguro, laki ng just as, not just General Tuna, no, but also as a friend na madalas ko nakakausap, kung ano siya dito sa podcast, ganun din siya offline. The only difference is naka-highlight lang yung bigote niya. Walang nagbago dyan sa taong yan. So, ako thankful ako sa privilege na to know you more as a personality worth being recognized, no? So, on behalf of the people who are in the esports industry, we thank you and sana tuloy mo lang yung ginagawa mo. Kasi again, like you said, there's no way but up.
Read.
Awesome. Thank you. Chino, up to you. Okay na.
Kung napapansin mo naman, no, Judge, tinanggal ko yung bigote ko. Kasi definitely, to give respect sa tunay na bigote, sa tunay na lalaki. Now, kami ni Jazz, we had, I remember, I'm not sure if you remember, no, General Tuna, na we had two instances na pag-usap tayo. One is yung T1 team building, kasama si Raffy nun, sa Tagaytay. And the second one is nung uminom tayo doon sa new office. Sa malaking sa new office. And, yung unang meet natin was, we were talking about podcasts. Pinag-usapan natin yun at the time kasi Raffy and I, part of Game Ako, and nag-start kami, nagpa-podcast kami doon, 'di ba? And we wanted to matagal na namin gusto i-guest ka doon talaga. And we were talking about yung magagandang nangyari sa mga podcasting in the Philippines. Tapos yung pangalawa, when we were drinking, pinag-usapan natin yung Final Fantasy VII remake, if you remember. And we were planning to have you as a guest pag-release ng remake. Unfortunately, hindi siya nangyari. Pero I am so very happy kasi at least dito sa G, nangyari. I was able to work with you here, and nasabi na ng mga to, pero I'd like to also repeat that we are truly proud of what you've become, and we are happy to see na merong isang General Tuna to lead esports and gaming in general, and and whatever else, to lead us to the next level. No, just continue being yourself. Katulad nga ng sinabi ni Pilaj, continue to inspire, to motivate, and kami rin. Hindi mo lang alam, na-inspire mo rin kami. So thank you very much. Maraming salamat, and I hope makita ka ulit namin dito.
Yes. Always
Awesome.
available.
Ravenize?
Yeah, ayun Jess, thank you din sa pagsuporta mo. Naalala ko, medyo nagsisimula pa ako sa streaming noon. He was one of the first big names na nakita kong nag-comment sa stream ko. Sabi ko, oy, HENERAL TUNA to. It's one of the baddest motherfucker out there, man. Pag ganun ako.
Bad word.
Oo, hindi. Pero pare, thank you so much talaga sa pag-unlock sa amin dito sa guesting, at sana nga hindi pa ito ang huli. We would love to invite you again like someday or soon,
Yes.
'di ba? Sa podcast namin. So thank you so much pare. Thank you.
Awesome. Lingid sa kalaman ng ibang tao, General Tuna not only shoutcasts for Dota but has recently played a game of D&D with Galactic Shark himself. I actually listened to the entire thing. And it was a funny thing. Yeah, they did. They actually had a live stream of their D&D. Especially, I like the part where they encountered the pirates. Magaling pala mag-D&D to si General. So yun. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I normally would end the podcast with a thank you to everybody, thank you to the guests, and of course, thank you to my panelists, and thank you to everybody who's listening. But then again, I can't do that right now. So if I could ask, how would General Tuna end his shoutcasting thing and say goodbye to the viewers at the end of the show, if you would be so kind as to give us a sample of your General Tuna signature signing off after the show, can you please do it for us, sir? If you could. I for one have not met you yet personally, but ever since I've learned about you and your adventures, I've always been a fan. So I could not do that. I cannot pass the opportunity to have you end our show that I host. Please go ahead. Anytime you're ready.
And thank you so much sa lahat na nanood sa show natin dito sa podcast sa G Gamers, Geeks, and Good Times. So naman na good time ako dito ng mga tropa natin. Maraming salamat dito kay Boss BJ, Ravenize, Captain Mike, kay Notch, at kay Boss Raffy. Alam ko, seryoso, may insulto ko pag hindi nyo ako na-invite mag-guest. Kaya tamang-tama lang na PM ako dito ni Boss Salmon. Kaya thank you so much sa lahat na nanood, sa lahat ng hindi na shoutout namin kayo ngayon na thank you so much for watching. And sana nga merong next time, no? May remastered version.
Of course.
Definitely.
Abangan
mo yan.
Yes, dapat doon marami na ring mahuhukay kung ano mang dapat hukayin.
You said it.
And thank you so much. And yes, they will see you on the next podcast. Thank you. Good night.